What's good, everybody? It's DSA Above the Rim Free Smoke Saturday. Y'all already know what it is, and I'm going to put out this disclaimer right now, y'all. I'm going to put out the disclaimer right now. Yeah, so if you don't want to hear no cuss words, if you don't want to hear no arguments, if you don't want to hear no rants, if you want to have a family show type of energy, this not the episode for you, and that's all good, and I hope you continue to support. But I'm throwing the disclaimer out there right now because it's Free Smoke Saturday for real. We about to do this, man. Let's go. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Probably have some more people joining later on. We got my man Detroit Drew in the building. What's good, man?
Oh, man, it feels like forever since we talked to you. It's only been a week, but it feels like forever. And what better way to come back than having a return topic of Stan Van Gundy? I'm excited and I cannot wait. You can look at Jimbo's face. He can't wait to talk about it.
Bro, I'm not even looking. I don't care about no Stan Van Gundy, dog. Anyway, like I said, and we back. We back. It's been a week, but it's been a long time. It's been like 3 weeks since I think it's been on my channel. So we shout out to everybody in the chat. Look, we got Mr. Ray in the building, Marvin Tober, Joey Kappas, D-Ball, Grashit, PD Sports. Make sure you guys like the video. Kyle Webb, as always, the first one to show up. We got Muhammad Amahandi and Micah's Gaming Takeover. Matt McLeod, what's good, everybody, man? Look, we got Bravo Mo in the building. What's good, man?
What's good, everyone? It's been like a couple of weeks. Nothing quiet except videos from Detroit Drew and Pistons Talk. And they were lit. I got to be honest with you guys. You've been lit on the news about the rumors and speculation. So we got a nice topic to talk about today. So we'll go.
All right. We got Pistons Talk in the building. What's good, man?
Not much. How you doing about the SBG?
Bro, like, y'all gotta stop with that. Like, y'all, I want y'all to know something right now. I want y'all to know something right now as we start the show. It's not gonna be about SBG. We only gonna talk about him for like 10 minutes. Like SBG, he gonna be like the 8th topic. Like, I'm not like this show ain't about SBG.
Everybody drop F's in the chat for JMO.
Like, this is not about SBG today. I've already compartmentalized this. I'm not doing it. Like, I've already, like, the season gonna be a shit show for them, and I'm expecting the shit show. So, like, I'm gonna enjoy the shit show. Like, hey, my favorite players is gonna ball out, and it's gonna be like that. But we not starting there, all right? Go blue. Oh yeah, what's good? My State Spartan fans. What's good with y'all? Y'all all right? Y'all lost to Rutgers, bro. Y'all trash, bro. I told y'all. Disclaimer. All the free smoke today. You might hear some curse words. We gonna have some fun today. But all right, shout out to everybody in the chat. But let's get the stove started, man. Y'all, this SBG talk. Y'all get on my nerves with this. We not doing this today.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. We're gonna start here because this is way more interesting than anything that the idiotic Pelicans are doing. But so should the Pistons overpay for Christian Wood? Because every team and their mama want Christian Wood. He's the hottest commodity. He looked like the baddest model on the block. Everybody want to talk to him. So all these teams want Christian Wood, and should the Pistons overpay in order to keep him? Because the only way we're gonna keep him at this point is if we open up that bag. And some people want to, some people don't. But I'm gonna start with you, Bravo. Should the Pistons overpay for Christian Wood?
It's a tough topic. I think it might be the only way. We need to just overpay him to bring him back. I hate to say it, but that's the reality. Is we're not a big destination, not great free agent destination, and that's why we have to overpay players like him. And the thing is, I would be really cautious about overpaying him, and it depends on how much we go over. If it's like in the range of 10 to 12, maybe up to 15 millions, I'd be considering of that. I didn't think over that. I'm really gonna not consider.
I would say you need to put that number up a little bit more. I ain't talking about no 12.
I mean, if it's a 15 million, I mean, I would consider it. But if it's above, it might have to be like, a delayed payment, like something like 15 year in the first year, 16 in the 7th year, and the second year, and let's say on the 3rd year he's got like 18, and the 4th he's at 20. That's I would consider if that's the only scenarios we have. But it's really hard because we can't refuse him at this point, and we need the guys like him. But I'm not gonna get into the topic what he said on the media live Instagram, because that's something really hurt me for sure, and I hated it so bad. So I'll leave it up to you guys to talk, but I think it's a reality. If in order to bring Christian Wood, we gotta have to overpay.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna look, man. Look, I feel like I've been going too long, so I'm gonna shout out everybody in the chat. We got Yu-Gi-Oh Rex in the building. We got Mr. Ray. We got Luke G. Field Review in the building. Field Review in the building. I agree with what he said. I don't think we should overpay. There's always someone young and hungry find him, and he don't even have to be young and hungry. Montrezl Harrell is hungry enough. Because I think overpaying is like 15 million, and to the Pistons fans that do want to pay him 15 million or 14 million, can I really ask something to y'all Pistons fans? Why do y'all love Christian Wood so much? But whenever it comes to my boy Luke Kennard, y'all ready to ship him out. Christian Wood only averaged 13 points a game, 6 rebounds coming off the bench. He had these nice little games filling in for Drummond. But if I be like 15 mil for Luke Kennard, oh, hell no, he's better than Christian Wood. Yeah, I said it. Swallow it. Feel it. Believe it in your soul because it's the truth. Now, but y'all would love to overpay for Christian Wood. And I'm just like, so a player that we drafted that could be a good commodity, you wouldn't want to pay him 15 million. But a guy that had a nice month, you want to overpay this guy like he's some high commodity, and it's just not something that I want to do. And I just don't be understanding stuff like that. And Pistons fans, I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all need help. But all right, Pistons talk, man. What's your thoughts on this? Would you overpay for C Wood if it's like above 15 mil?
No, I wouldn't, but it doesn't help that you have, shows like The Jump hyping him up, saying he's the 3rd best free agent target. They ranked him higher than Brandon Ingram as a free agent target. Like, think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. You're saying Christian Wood is more valuable in free agency than a superstar in the making in Brandon Ingram. I don't get the thought process behind that. Maybe ESPN wants to hype him up to get him out of Detroit because he doesn't want to be here. Who knows?
I would think it's because BI is restricted.
Still, though, I mean,
I want to say still. I was right. We thinking the same thing. I don't give a damn what he is. Like Brandon,
I was just
that's
trying to help
Brandon
him.
Ingram.
I don't
That's
get
Brandon. That's Brandon Ingram. No, I'm talking to ESPN. I don't give a damn if he restricted, bruh. Like, we don't know if we think the Pelicans are gonna pay him, but a team is gonna force them to pay him the max, or they're gonna lose him. Like, that's how valuable he is. But my fault, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like the most I'd probably offer him is in between that maybe mid-level exception, which is like around 9 million to like 15 million. If you get over 15 million, then you kind of get into that territory where it's overpaying, and it's a typical Detroit Pistons thing. We've been there with Ben Gordon, Charlie V. I know Pistons fans remember those kind of contracts. They're terrible. You don't want contracts like that when you're trying to restore this roster to try to be more competitive. So my thing is, if he walks, he walks. You got guys like you mentioned, Montrezl Harrell, Harry Giles, Serge Ibaka. There's tons of centers in free agency that can plug in where Christian Wood was at. And, if he leaves, don't get upset. You can't get attached to these players because they're going to get traded or whatever eventually.
Yeah, I feel like you only have a right to get attached to first-round picks or lottery picks, put it like that. So the Stanley Johnson lovers, I don't understand y'all, but y'all still root for him to this day. So it is what it is. Like, no, people really do still root for Stanley Johnson. I'm not lying. So, all right, man, Drew, what's your thoughts on this?
Going into this, I was expecting him to be somewhere around the 10 to 15 million dollar mark, maybe 16. So if it falls into that, cool, get it done. But anything more than that, he's only played about a month of basketball where he was the starter, if that, since the Andre Drummond trade. And even off the bench, he's playing really well. But, we're going to have some defensive problems with him playing the 5 and Blake at the 4. So either way we go, we still have to sign another center. And like you guys said, there's so many good ones in free agency. And it's always possible to move up and get a second-round draft pick, or trade up for a late first rounder and get a young center there and develop him, because we really don't know how good Patton's going to be or how healthy he's going to be. We really don't know there. It's kind of a Thon Maker's last chance to show something. So I'm sure Dwayne Casey's going to throw him some looks and opportunities out there just for one last hurrah. But it's gonna suck that Christian Wood's gonna walk because he is a highlight reel, and it doesn't help when, like you said, ESPN ranks him as the third best free agent because that just solidifies the Knicks are gonna throw him the bag. I think somewhere Dallas was interested, which would be a really nice pick for them.
No, that's something to talk about.
I'll root for him wherever he goes. If he leaves, I'm not really gonna be salty about it. If he stays, I'll be happy, but it's not really gonna make or break my day one way or the other. It is what it is. I don't really like him going on Instagram Live asking where he should go.
Well, at the end of the day, I don't take it personal though. Like, it wasn't like I don't want Pistons fans to believe that Christian Wood only did that because he was with us. I kept telling y'all when he was with the Pelicans, he had 10 games where he was putting up the same numbers he was putting up with us. So he showed that, like, if you put him out there, he can score points, especially if he's the main option. Yeah, he can go out there and get you 24 because he can score points if he's the main option, but it's not going to get you any type of wins. So somebody in the chat was talking about how many more wins will having Christian Wood add us, and I might be like 5 max, maybe 5 wins. Like, it's not going to be like that much, but I'm not saying I don't want to keep him. I would love to have him on this team, but if he's asking for $15 million, that's when I'm like, I don't know about that, but we'll see. We'll see.
How do you guys feel about him coming out live on Instagram and saying
I don't care. Like, I'm not taking it personal.
That video is so weird because you could tell he was with some of his friends, and it didn't seem comfortable. It kind of seemed like just go on live, ask where you want to go, because he's never made more than $2 million in his career. And if the team's going to throw him, like you guys said, $16 million, that's a huge payday. I mean, that's a huge payday from being, cut by 6 different teams. Charlotte. That'd be really freaking funny. Get cut by Charlotte and then they overpay for him. But I'm just rambling.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm looking at the chat that says, why would you overpay for someone who doesn't move the needle? All right, guys, we got 31 people in the chat and only 10 likes. Come on, guys. Make sure you guys get them likes up, man. It's Free Smoke Saturday. Drop your questions in the chat. I will be answering some questions throughout the show. But look, like I said, I like Christian Wood, but at the end of the day, he's like, is he better than like Marcus Morris? Is he better than Marcus Morris or Tobias Harris? Because those are the same type of archetype of players, and I might take both of them over Christian Wood right now. So that's why I don't want to pay him that $16 million. Tobias getting paid $20 million. He overpaid. He's extremely overpaid, and you don't want to end up. That's what I'm saying. Like, if Tobias is overpaid at $20 million, Tobias probably overpaid at $17 million. You know what I'm saying? So Tobias is like a $15 million type of guy, but he's getting overpaid. But, it's not something that I would want to do. I like the guy. I'm not going to say anything personal because it's a business at the end of the day. He got to go out and get his bag. He worked hard for that. So go out and get it.
So it's the point that I just don't like that he came out live and said what he says, despite the fact we like him as a player, we love him as a community, and the Detroit Pistons fans, I'm telling you, they don't hate Christian Wood by any means. We love the guy, and even the Detroit Pistons general managers like Christian Wood. And if we offer him this money, and if he still doesn't want to stay with us, I feel like that's disrespectful for us. It brings me the same shades of KCP when we wanted him so bad. We offered him that money. Remember that? That's disrespectful for the organization.
I'm so glad he didn't take that. I'm so glad
too. But if he does something like that, I'll be super pissed at Christian Wood because we like him and we want him here. Take the $12 million and accept it and move on with your life, man. Stay with us. Okay.
Yeah. Marcus Morris averaged 19 on the Knicks, shooting 40% from 3 before he got traded to the Clippers. So he's definitely a good player, and they play good defense. They don't just intimidate, man. They actually play basketball. All right, let's move on to something even more crazier than that one. Because like I said, we got to talk about it. Should the Pistons trade Derrick Rose for Kyle Kuzma? Because I'm hearing this Kyle Kuzma talk, and I'm so sick of people like, he's from Flint, so I want him. Shut up, you idiot. like for real. Like, that's at the end of the day, I can combat you and I can combat you and I can combat you on Kuzma, but at some point in time, it's gonna come down to the fact that he's close by. And I could care less, bro. Like for real, I could care less. But anyway, should the Pistons trade Derrick Rose for Kyle Kuzma? Bravo. What do you think?
I might have to do it because, it is the last year of his contract. I'd agree with Detroit Drew what he says before. You just do it for the sake of wanting to see D Rose winning the championship. We love D Rose, and I respect him what he did for the Pistons in his 1 year, and we like him in Chicago too. I used to be a huge fan of him. So to see D Rose winning the championship again with the Lakers, and at 6, it's really possible if he goes to the Lakers that they're going to win another championship. The point is, what would you take from them? I'd take definitely Kuzma because he's from Flint and he'll be okay as a fit for us. He's still young. I mean, that's one of the trade scenarios. I heard a lot of other trade scenarios, but I don't want to talk about the other ones. What would I do? I take Kuzma because at this point, I don't want to take a C in a second round or a first round pick. That doesn't cut it for me. I think I'd rather take Kuzma because he's a young, and we saw what kind of scoring ability he can do for the Lakers in the playoffs. And I think bringing him here, and even if Christian Wood goes away and we have Kuzma, he can play with Sekou and Kennard. I mean, he's not a defender, but he can score for us. And Christian Wood was a scorer for us last year. Remember that. So I think Kuzma will be playing that role.
Okay, so I sat up here and said, I don't want to hear about Kuzma is from damn Flint. And Bravo sat up here and said, right after me, and Bravo probably thought I wasn't going to address it. And he sat up here and said, he's from here. Like, if you don't miss me with that, bro. And I'm with Luke right here. Luke is not a basketball guy like that, but he on point here. Pistons better not trade Rose. He a good player. Why do we have to trade him? Like I said, I'm keeping that same energy with Derrick Rose. If Derrick Rose request a trade, okay, I'll release you, bro. But if he don't request a trade, I'm not trading Derrick Rose. He's a good player for my team. Like, if Derrick Rose and the Pistons stay healthy, he will probably be an all-star next year. I'm serious. If we were a playoff team, Derrick Rose would probably be an all-star, averaging 20 off the bench. It's very possible. So when I'm looking at that, I'm not getting rid of him for Kyle Kuzma, who's nothing but a black hole. Kyle Kuzma needs a point guard to be effective, and even then, he's just a shot chucker. Kyle Kuzma is like having a 6'10" version of Langston Galloway that can't shoot as well. Like, I don't want that. Like, yeah. Yes, bro. I don't want that. Like I said, man, he's a black hole. Like, he doesn't move the ball. Like, don't get me started on Kuzma. Like, he's not a good basketball player. He's okay. And I feel like a lot of people's perception of him changed because my boy Lonzo padded his stats. Now people think he's, hot commodity, but you saw AD and Brian needed him to be that guy, and Rondo ended up taking over. So, like, that's what happened with Kuz. And my thing is, especially if we keep Christian Wood, we don't really have that much space at the power forward position to be adding all of these guys there. And I want young guys. Kuzma's already 25 years old. He is what he is at this point. Like adding Kuzma would be like adding like Markieff Morris when we added him. What's the difference? It's the exact same. And you want to tell me it's different? I'm gonna say BS. It's
Markieff
the same.
Play defense.
Hey, but I'm just saying it's the same. Like, it's the same, and I got to give up Derrick Rose to do that. Now, if you give me a first round pick, then I'm gonna have a whole different energy. Because I can get a pick.
But if Rose wants to go to Lakers to win a championship,
but that's the thing. Listen, fans, he ain't saying he want to go anywhere. He want to be here. So why do y'all want to get rid of him? I don't get this shit.
I mean,
we literally asked him to if he wanted to leave last season, and he wanted. Like, I ain't never heard of a player wanting to stay somewhere when you can go play for a contender. But Derrick Rose is like, I'm cool here, bro. So, like, why are we trying to move this guy, especially when he's building up these young players and he impacts winning on our team? So I'm not with that, especially if it's just Kyle Kuzma. Like, I need more than Kyle Kuzma. Give me Danny Green with him. Okay, I like Danny Green. He getting old as hell, but he maybe can teach the young guys some stuff and, just bring a different type of culture. But, like, I'm just not – I don't like players like Kuzma, players who don't play defense and they don't pass and they just do one thing well. Because when you're trying to build a basketball team, when you're trying to build a culture, players like that don't fit. You just saw it with the Lakers. Like, Caruso was ahead in the rotation, and Kuzma's a better player. But why is that? Because he doesn't fit. Kuzma needs the type of team like Charlotte, where he can just go and take all the shots and score all the points he wants, and they lose and nobody cares. Because other than that, he's not going to be that guy for us. Not for I'm not about to give up. Why would you give up Derrick Rose for Kyle Kuzma? I
Only
just
because
don't.
if he asked for it, maybe,
If he asked, but he ain't, and that's the thing. He hasn't asked.
and the other way is a decent return for D Rose is Kuzma is not bad at return.
And I'm seeing for some people in the chat, he said assets, we need them. Yeah, and look, now I want y'all to know something. I'm not like being attached like I'm some D Rose thing. I just like if I'm giving up D Rose, I want something that Pistons talk like something of long term value that I'm like that was good for us. I'm glad we did that. But we get Kuzma, he's gonna be off this team in 3 years. I bet you.
That's generous.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like Kuzma not gonna be unless Kuzma turn into a star and like y'all could be like, oh J-Mo, you was wrong as hell about Kuzma. I'll take it. I'll be wrong. I don't mind being wrong, especially if you're on our team. But according to what I'm seeing, no, it's not gonna work like that. Main thing about Kuz is he really needs a point guard, and the playing with Brian and Rondo, you could say Brian not a point guard, but Rondo, it just didn't work. And he needed a pass for a point guard like Zoe. That's why they work together. Do the Pistons have a point guard that's gonna get Kuzma his shots? That's gonna get Kuzma involved. This is that's gonna get Kuzma easy baskets because that's what Kuzma feeds off of. He gets easy baskets. He attacks in transition. He'll get to the foul line. He'll hit some transition threes. He'll fit into the offense. He'll slash. But he has somebody setting him up usually to do those things. Our team, like it don't work for a lot of reasons. But I know I had to go in like that. My fault, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video. Pistons talk, man.
What's up?
And if Bravo, man, if you got any rebuttals, man, I'm here. But Pistons talk, man. Should we trade Derrick Rose for Kyle Kuzma? And now he about to be like, this is why we should have Kyle Kuzma.
Hell no. Hell no.
All right.
You know what? All these trade rumors, like the only actual trade I actually saw was Alex Caruso and a second-round pick for Derrick Rose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
That's straight up trash. Like the Kuzma thing's coming from Lakers fans, honestly. Like straight up,
they want to get rid of him.
And Lakers fans, or LeBron fans, I should say. Remember last time LeBron was with Derrick Rose? What happened?
Didn't work.
Playing off the ball? That ain't gonna work. Unless you have Derrick Rose coming off your bench. That's the only way it could work. And I think there's better trade options than the Lakers. There's a lot of trade partners that would like Derrick Rose. Like Orlando, for example. Orlando needs a backup point guard or a starting point guard, whatever the deal is. Saw a report that maybe a 15th overall pick and Derrick Rose. I would take that all day. All day.
Oh, yes. You said all Orlando?
Day. Yeah. They got the 15th overall pick.
I mean, we could probably get Pandemic B.
No one wants that trash guy.
I mean, look. As much. Hey, hold up now. As much as I hate Paul George, y'all know nobody is shitting on Paul George more than me.
This is true.
I might take Paul George. Like, I'm serious. If I don't know what we have to give up. It as long as it's not Sekou or Luke, why wouldn't we want him?
No.
I don't know. Because think about it here, he's not living up to no type of expectation. Like he just Paul George. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when players get out that spotlight, they play a little bit differently. You see what I'm saying? Like you take him with in OKC and LA, they expected to win. Like here, he will be expected to win, but nobody's really gonna be expecting us to win. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Detroit would be good for him.
It'd be different. And why wouldn't it be?
Man, he's got a problem with strippers.
Oh, okay.
You already know. You already know.
Right about that.
He's gonna be at Legends every week like Andre.
Man,
that will be good to take you though. To take Sekou with you.
Oh my God! Stop it, Drew. Stop it. All right, Drew. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, for starters, I don't really know if this will ever happen because the source that said that this could happen was an anonymous GM. Probably someone from the Lakers. So I don't know if the Pistons are actively trying to do this. I would seriously doubt it. After you made the point where Derrick Rose said he didn't want to go anywhere. He liked it here in Detroit, which I don't blame him. I mean, look at what he did for us. Played phenomenal off the bench, played phenomenal as a starting role. People at LCA, all 13 of them that were there, cheered for him really loud and gave him a great standing ovation every time he checked in and sat on the bench. So, I mean, he feels loved here. He's close to Chicago. He's got a lot of friends and family here. So I don't really see Derrick Rose wanting out Only reason I would do it, again, if he said he wanted out, because I do want to see Derrick Rose get a ring. I think if he gets a ring, he will be walking into the Hall of Fame, even with the injuries and stuff like that hurt his career. Youngest MVP of all time. If he gets one ring, that should be enough to make it into the Hall of Fame. So that's really
he already got enough. He got an MVP.
Yeah, but I think icing
there's no MVP winner not in the Hall of Fame.
I would agree with you there. But I think they just make a better case for him, and he'd be a little bit more proud. And eventually, like, if he waited one more year, like, he's not going to fall off the edge of the world in one more year. He could always go somewhere in free agency. But selfishly for the Pistons fans, we have a really good shot here at drafting a young point guard. I really want to see Derrick Rose be here to mentor that young player and show him the ropes and everything that he's been through. And kind of be that guy for him. And you've seen how much he made Luke Kennard better. Since we signed Derrick Rose, Luke Kennard looked a lot more confident. Luke looked a lot more confident. Like, he's already made the young players want to play hard here and play better. So just for a locker room standpoint, I really don't want to lose a guy like Derrick Rose. And if Blake and Derrick Rose are healthy this year, the Pistons will be a playoff team. It's just a matter if. So Kuzma is not enough, but he is from Flint. Shout out to him. But yeah, I want more than Kuzma. I think that come trade deadline, Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose will have more value to him.
Way more value.
Derrick Rose will be an expiring contract. Those teams that are contending, the Clippers, the Lakers, the guys who want to get more over the hump like Milwaukee or Miami, some of those teams will be willing to offer you a first-round draft pick for an expiring deal and a chance to in exchange for a ring. So I think that if the Pistons do want to trade Derrick Rose, that's cool. I think you should just sit on him for a little bit.
Yeah, man. Like I said, look, like, if Derrick Rose asks to leave, I'll trade you, bro. But if you ain't asking to leave, I'm not touching you. like, especially when you got to realize the Pistons is, especially our team, we all about culture. And I mean, we haven't really been that good the last 10, 15 years. So we're trying to rebuild that. And Derrick Rose fits it. And I feel like it's steps. Like, you do right by Derrick Rose. Then along the road, somebody else will come along, and then they'll want to stay. Be like, well, they didn't do D Rose dirty, or they didn't do Blake dirty. Maybe I want to be here. So I just feel like trying to be this winning team that we're trying to be. It's just a lot of steps that we got to take, and one of the steps is doing right by your players. Derrick Rose, in the situation he's in with his trade value, requesting a trade. I'm gonna do right by you. I'm gonna trade you, but if you don't request a trade, I'm going to do right by you. I'm going to give you your minutes. You're going to do right by us. You're going to put in the work on the basketball court. And I really do love what he's done with our young guards, Luke Kennard, Bruce Brown. And this young guard that we get, having Derrick Rose to learn from is going to be amazing. So unless he wants to trade, like, why am I getting rid of, like, I don't understand why Pistons fans want to get rid of a good basketball player that helps us win games. Like, I know I sound funny, but like, unless y'all it's something else, but Kyle Kuzma is definitely not the answer. If I'm getting rid of Derrick Rose, it's for a bigger payout and a better deal, not for a player that I think is close to reaching their ceiling. But all right, guys, we gonna move on. So my boy Drew made a video about this, and I thought it was a good topic to talk about. Very interesting. Should the Pistons go after Derrick Jones Jr., Mr. Dunk Champion, Mr. I played with Miami and I was ingratiated in that culture? We're going to start with you, Pistons talk.
I think it's a good move, but it kind of has me worried because it's not even Derrick Jones Jr. It's also Jeremy Grant, and those guys play small forward. My thing with that is, would those guys take minutes away from Sekou Doumbouya? That's my only issue with that, because you're going after guys that are younger. Well, Jeremy Grant's not young, but Derrick Jones Jr. is.
Well, I think Jeremy Grant would take minutes away, but not Derrick Jones, because Jeremy Grant is better. He's probably better than Sekou now.
Yeah, Derrick Jones Jr. is more like defensive. His offensive.
I'm taking him for development because I think he's gonna be something later on. You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably would make Louis King not be on the team.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that's what I think would happen.
Yeah, I kind of get flashbacks though. I mean, the last dunk champion we signed, Glenn Robinson III.
Yeah.
I mean, but Derrick Jones can play.
I know.
Hey, Glenn Robinson wasn't actually that bad for us though.
But he was all right. He didn't play.
I mean, he was all right. Like, it wasn't like he
a lot
was
of layups.
Like, hey man, we've had worse picks. I'm not defending him like he was great, but we've had worse. Trust me. So
It's true.
but so would you go after him though? Fifth thought.
If the money's right, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, maybe like
What does the money right mean? How much? What you mean?
most I'd probably offer, since I'm a cheap bastard, is like 6 to 9. That's about it.
Oh yeah, I don't have
I'm not gonna overpay for someone that can't shoot.
I don't have that, but I don't know. So I'm looking at Derrick Jones. He's been in the league for like 3 years. He's averaging what 8 and 4 and 2. How many minutes per game? 23 minutes in the regular season. We know he didn't play that much in the playoffs, but he 52% from the field, 28% from three. We know what he is, so it's not like we don't. If we're going after a player like this, you don't know what he is, and for what he is, I like him. He ain't the most talented player right now. I'm going to accept that, but he's a young rough rider. And I know we got a lot of Bruce Brown fans on here.
Yeah.
If you like Bruce Brown type of energy, that's why you're gonna like Derrick Jones. He's gonna give us those highlight plays that spark off the bench, and he can play defense. And I feel like he fits our culture. And if anybody can find something, maybe it's Dwayne Casey, or maybe it's the next coach we get. But if it's for like, I think y'all gonna catch. I'll slip that in there. 6-7 million, yeah. I'm definitely gonna do that. Now I don't have to draft a small forward or worry about getting a wing player, because we need wing players. Like, we have Sekou, but to me, Sekou is really, besides Christian Wood a little bit, to me, Sekou is like our only wing player on the team. Like, I'm not counting Lewis King because he's a fringe player. He don't be on the team like that. But Sekou is really the only wing player. Like, you could say Sui is a wing, but he's like an offensive wing. You know, like Joe Harris is. You know, or Joe Ingles, just an offensive wing, not like just a full, like, that's a wing player. Sekou is really our only wing player. We got the Hook Cam in the building. What's good, my man, the Hook Cam? Every time I want to learn something about football, I go to his channel. So make sure you guys subscribe to his channel so he can you can listen to him talk about how the Patriots didn't get to practice. So all right, man. Yeah, because that was kind of trash for them. But and that's what I'm looking at with Derrick Jones Jr. I think he fits our culture a little bit. And I see Rod Love 313 says I want Josh Jackson. I would take him over Josh Jackson just because of like the personality thing. He just coming from the Heat. I feel like you're taking him for the same reasons you might want to take Josh Jackson. So, yeah. And I do trust his defense though. But like I said, we don't really have any wing player. Like our wing players are Sekou, who's a great wing, gonna be but see, like that's our other wing. Like, yeah, am I wrong?
Tony Snell too.
Like, man, you know, Tony Snell not even on the team right now. But, like I low key forgot he was on the squad. Piston talk. Like, I forgot. Tony Snell, come on.
Still cashing that 12 million.
Like,
still cashing that 12 million.
Hey, man, Tony Snell winning on and off the court. Trust me. But when I'm looking at it, I'm just like, yo, like we don't have any wing players. So I'll take the young wing, Derrick Jones Jr. for sure. So Drew, what's your thoughts on this?
Shout out to the Hood Cam, man. I feel bad for your first year as a Lions fan. This is what you're getting. So get that
hey man, the Lions might be on the up and up. We'll see tomorrow. Either they're gonna get crushed or they're gonna win.
Someone's gonna blow a lead.
Right.
Anywho, with Derrick Jones Jr., yeah, I think that $6 to $9 million mark is a pretty fair deal for him. I think that this would be a good player to replace Christian Wood with. Yeah, they play different positions, but what I'm talking about is this guy can go into transition and fly, jump, whatever you want to say. Like, this guy is just a freaking nature. And if you draft a point guard, Killian Hayes, Cole Anthony, Kira Lewis, even Halliburton, like, these guys want players like this in transition for alley-oops and dunks and stuff like that. It really helps the point guards get more assists. And I think that, you know, with shooters like Luke Kennard and Mihailuk, who can shoot at 40% from downtown and also get you 3 to 5 assists a game, those players are going to feed off of this because they're going to get double teams. Blake's definitely going to get double teamed since he's going to be healthy and really our prime vocal point. Something like this where you can just throw him a lob at the hoop and he can go get it. I mean, literally, you don't even have to be close, and he'll go get it. He's going to be like a JMO. You'll love this. You'll love this comparison. He'll be our Calvin Johnson, as everyone compared to Calvin Johnson.
If I hear another Megatron comparison, I'm gonna have to see you.
No, I'm joking though. But this guy, this guy's a freaking nature. That's pretty much all you can do offensively. He's only gonna get you about 8 to 10 points, if that. But like you said, he's young. He can improve, and if he can develop a jump shot, he'll be very, very dangerous. But I'm not really looking to sign this guy for a development stage. He'd just be a high energy guy. Something like when we're down, if we needed something to hype us up, he can go out there and perform a highlight reel play, put somebody on a poster, dunk over the backboard, whatever you want, and then get the team fired up, coming back out with a whole new rhythm and swagger and come back out and compete. But yeah, if we lose Christian Wood, I think a player like this that can perform highlight reel plays, you need stuff like that. Not everyone's going to come out here and be a superstar or an all-star. Some people just need to know their role. He definitely does. He's a good defender, fun player to watch. I'm all for it.
I like that. And shout out to the Hook Cam, man. Look, Hook Cam, shout out to everybody. The Megatron video is coming because if they compare another person to Megatron, I'm going to lose my mind. Like I'm serious. But see, I compare Derrick Jones Jr. to Jeremy Grant. People forget that Jeremy Grant had to really, because I watched him play with Westbrook and he was garbage. So Jeremy Grant he was like the last year he was with Russ, that was his best season, but he still kind of failed there. But it took him years to develop. And when I mean years, I mean the NBA is 3 to 5 years. Jeremy Grant was just like Derrick Jones Jr. in his second, third year. He couldn't shoot, just defense. He ain't no offensive game. And when I'm looking at Derrick Jones, I'm like, he's young, and maybe we can develop him into a better player. Now, if we can, we'll get rid of him. But that's why you don't overpay. But literally, Jeremy Grant, he's 27 years old, and he finally as good as he is. So 4 or 5 years ago, Jeremy Grant was not what he is. He was literally Derrick Jones, and I would say Derrick Jones is maybe slightly a little bit better because of his athleticism. But, that's why I'm looking at that. So, bravo, man. Should we go after Derrick Jones Jr. if it's a mid-level type of deal?
So if you're looking at the player, Derrick Jones Jr. is really, like you mentioned, you guys talked about high energy player. He's be good, probably off the bench. I don't think he's going to be starting for us. But I mean, he is probably on a second tier or a third tier for me, if I'm honest. If I'm the Piston GM, I'd go first over a guy like Malik Beasley. He's going to be a restricted free agent. He's a lot nicer player. He's a 6'4". Derrick Jr. is 6'6". I mean, he's more of a shooting guard, but he can play some of the power, small forward. And also, I would consider Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig of the Denver Nuggets is also nice. Why would you go? I know he's a little bit older, but I mean, I think he probably these kind of players would cost as the same money as Derrick Jones Jr. And I think they might be as good candidate as Derrick. I throw the money at if you're throwing 6 to 9 millions at Derrick Jones Jr. Why would you just throw 6 to 9 millions at Malik Beasley? And I don't know if the T-Wolves would bring him back for 6 to 9
that's
million.
The thing. I'm not trying. I like Malik Beasley. I just said that I really do, but I'm not trying to bring in tweeners. I need wing players. Malik Beasley is more of a guard. I need wing Torrey Craig. He is definitely older. And he's not better than Derrick Jones Jr.
I think he's a great defender. He's a
great defender, but I'm looking at it now. He's averaging 5 points a game. 18 minutes a game. It's not like he's not better than Derrick Jones. What about Jeremy Grant? I'm not gonna take a 29-year-old Torrey Craig that doesn't even do more than Derrick Jones Jr., who was 22 years old.
I don't know if it might be like I mentioned, Malik Beasley for me ahead of Derrick Jones Jr. He's number one ahead of him. I'd get him over. So he's like I mentioned, Derrick Jones Jr. is really nice. I like him. Probably he's a second or third tier after certain guys. We should throw the money at priority first. Let's say Malik Beasley, maybe Jeremy Grant, maybe Brandon Ingram.
I mean, if you're going small forwards, you might as well
Malik is a great player right now, but I just don't want to add any more guard. That's just how I am. Malik
Beasley, him and Luke Kennard are going to battle it out for a spot. I mean, you don't want that.
Exactly. Right. I need
wing players. Play.
I need wing players. Our wing position, it's a little competition there, but it's Seiko in his feet. Luke King will find his way if he gets an opportunity, but we know what that is. So I would love to have Derrick Jones. If they added Torrey Craig, I wouldn't be upset. But 29 years old, man. Why not add the young gunner?
What about Jeremy Grant?
I mean, I would take Jeremy Grant, but he's 27.
Yeah, he's old also. Yeah,
We'll have to overpay him. You know, like put it like this. If I'm not giving Christian Wood 15 million, I'm not giving Jeremy Grant 15 million. You know, we got 40 people in the chat, only 23 likes. Come on, guys. Make sure you guys like the video. And all right, we gonna move to the topic, everything that y'all been waiting for. Let's talk about it, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me read some of these comments and then we'll get to SVG. Oh, man. Speaking of Pistons doing right by the players, what about Christian Wood? We're paying him the same amount as Ian Manhimi. 15 be doing right by him? I don't think so. Would I replace Bruce Brown with Tim Hardaway Jr.? No, I would not. Only because, look, I know a lot of y'all might think I don't like Bruce Brown, but I value his potential in defense. I think he can be a good player, and I value his defense, honestly. So I'm not going to get rid of Bruce unless it's for something good. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with Luke. Unlike the rest of y'all, I'm not giving up on our young players. I like our young core, you know? So I'm not giving up on these guys. But all right, guys, let's move on to the next topic. It's simple as this, man. Thoughts on the Pelicans hiring Stan Van Gundy? Why were they so stupid? And we're going to start with you, Bravo.
Because they couldn't find anyone any better than him. I just don't know, really. I feel like it's weird they hired this guy because he was very bad here in the Pistons, and you guys all know him very well, how he did for us. And I have no idea how he convinced them to be the right coach for their team. The only thing I'm interested in seeing is Stan Van Gundy on the Pelicans. I want to see Lonzo Ball and Zion playing the pick and roll. I would love to see that. But I kind of have a feeling it's not going to be Zoe and Zion. It's going to be Ingram and Zion playing the pick and roll. And I feel like they're going to throw Lonzo in the corner. That's how I see it. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. It's not a good move, I think. It might pay up because of the fact SVG is not a bad defending coach. He can really build the team as a good defending team, and he can play pick and roll. That's all I like about him. But as a matter of fact, he just did terrible with the star players we have here in his era, and he was even worse as a GM. So, and he doesn't even play the rookies, and their whole team is rookies. So I don't know how I feel about it.
So the hook cam, I'm so glad you asked this, hook cam. You about to fire me up, man. He said that someone who knows very minimal about the NBA. Can you explain to me what's so bad about SVG? Well, where should I start? All right. Stan Van Gundy as a coach. Everyone should know this by now, but he destroys young players. It's documented. Hook cam. Just imagine if you had a young stud on the Patriots that you drafted in the first round, or let's say you got somebody in the fifth round. Let's just say he's a stud. And let's just say Bill Belichick says, you know what, F you, I hate you, you a piece of crap, F you, leave. And guess what? He don't got 6 championships. So point is, we had a star point guard, had beef with Stan Van Gundy, and he had to leave. And he was our general manager on top of being our coach. So he was making bad moves as general manager and then going out and coaching terrible. So we had all of these young all-stars, and he just got rid of them because he's an idiot. And he destroyed our young players' confidence, and we didn't win any basketball games, and our players didn't develop. Stanley Johnson didn't develop. Drummond has been the same player for 5 years, so he developed in it was just such a dumpster fire. And then you look at the win and loss record. The Pistons only had 1 season that we made the playoffs. Every other year, we weren't good. So really, Stan Van Gundy, even the Pistons weren't that good. We weren't good at all before he got here, but what he did was he came here, destroyed our cap space, came here, destroyed our young players, and the thing about destroying our young players is we had all these high draft picks, and you're supposed to develop and empower those guys, and he didn't. So he came here, destroyed our cap space, destroyed our young players, destroyed our culture, and we didn't win. Now, I know things happen like Brandon Jennings getting hurt. I won't overlook that. But besides that, it was just a shit show and a dumpster fire. And as hard as I am on Dwayne Casey, he's been having to recover from all of this. Like, we literally lost Andre Drummond, hook cam, who was our franchise player at the time, because Stan Van Gundy got Blake Griffin, so we couldn't pay Andre Drummond. So, and then we miss out on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Michael Porter Jr., who are going to be 2 superstars. It's just so much. And my point is the Pelicans, they are a young basketball team. And the last coach for any young basketball team is Stan Van Gundy. He does not work well with young players. Bravo was literally just talking about how do you not want your point guard running pick and roll or running the half court offense? That makes no sense. The best passer and the best decision maker shouldn't be running the team. How does that make sense? But you already see what his plans, and the Pelicans are y'all some idiots, man. Kenny Atkinson, Jason Kidd, two way better choices. Jason Kidd, Kenny Atkinson, they empower young players. We literally seen young players succeed with these guys in recent memory, especially Kenny, J. Kidd with Giannis. They're like, it just makes no sense. You bring some old school guy that's out of date that just came from destroying our franchise. And SBG is just living off of one little title run with Orlando. But guess what happened? Because of SBG ruined that too. Dwight Howard left. He left. Like, he ruined that too. So what are we talking about? And that was basically the end of the Dwight Howard career till this year. So when I look at it, it's so many levels why this was a bad move, and I'm hoping that it's going to be well, but I think it's going to be a shit show, and I'm expecting a shit show. But I will tell you this. My boy Lonzo going to thrive regardless. So, but it's the difference between, like, averaging 15 to 16 and having a good season, and then your coach putting the ball in your hands and you playing to your maximum potential. Like, I'll put it in this for your terms. If he came here before Ingram had his breakout year, Ingram would probably had 19 this year. That's what he'll do to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he'll do to him. But all right, Pistons. So, what is your thoughts on this, man?
Well, I want to reply to the hook cam. Maybe he can kind of, as an NFL coach, I compare Stan Van Gundy to Bill O'Brien.
God. Ooh,
that's
a good one.
That's the type of coach he is. So shout out to Hook Cam for that. But I'm looking at, Stan Van Gundy, and I'm watching ESPN, and one of the guys on the Pelicans was the main reason why he's there. Can you guess who it is?
Zion.
No, JJ fucking Redick.
JJ Redick recruited him like a mofo.
What?
And now the Pelicans are going to re-sign JJ Redick because that's Stan Van Gundy's guy.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it as it's the Pelican standpoint. I don't think Stan Van Gundy's ever had a roster this young, full potential, like ever. And he's going to have to play them. You just can't trade him away for second-round picks like he did here in Detroit. Like, he traded all of our second-round picks. Like, Sacramento has their second-round pick, you guys. It's 2020. Like, straight up. Like, I don't even think we own our second-round pick in 2021 either. Like,
bro, we paying Blake $35 million. Y'all know how much I love the guy, but come on.
You know what? He's going to have to play those rookies. He's going to have to play those young guys. And, I don't know. And you were talking about Kenny Atkinson. Apparently, he's going to L.A. He's going to the Clippers. So,
but as an assistant, though, like, he ain't getting a head coaching job. I don't understand.
Like, J. Kidd, I don't understand that. Maybe he didn't want to leave the Lakers. I don't know.
No, that ain't true. You heard that report. Some executive or what they said maybe they should have went after J. Kidd. I don't know what they did. Why they did that? That was J. Kidd talking.
I mean, D'Antoni would have been a better choice in my opinion.
You can't tell me that J. Kidd wouldn't want this job. There's no way he wouldn't want this job. No, Mike D'Antoni would have been, bro. I was waiting for Mike D'Antoni, bro. Talk about stat padding. Yeah. Zion to be averaging 30, Ingram be averaging 27, Lonzo be averaging a triple-double. Put them with D'Antoni, dog. Like, he's gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna play y'all 40 minutes a night. Just do it. It just hurts me. How could you make such a maybe as a Pistons fan, maybe I could forget what he's done. Maybe. But when you have a young team, why would you bring a coach that doesn't mesh with young play? Like, it makes no sense.
Or maybe you can trade Luke with Lonzo.
I'll do it.
He might do it. He might. He knows Luke. SVG likes Luke, and why not?
No, SVG actually hates Luke, but
yeah, he's almost ruined his career. Thank God we got rid of him.
That's why SVG has me pissed off. Dinwiddie and it's Luke, because he tried to crush Luke and keep Luke from being successful at every turn. I felt like, and that's why I kept bringing up Tyler Hero in Miami. How Eric Spoelstra empowered him and just gave him the green light to be great. And instead, we sent Luke Kennard down to the G League to score 40 when he shouldn't even been down there in the first place. And he still, but despite that, was shooting 40% from three, averaging his little 8 points while being benched by players that would not be on the team the next year. He tried everything he could to destroy Luke. That's just what he does to young players. That's why I'm like, Lonzo, man, I know you gonna play better, but I know that man gonna try to destroy you every turn. You already heard Bravo. He want the best playmaker and passer and decision maker on your team in the corner. So let's run pick and roll with Brandon Ingram now. Like, are you like? It's just so stupid stuff, and I could go all day on this, but it's just like it's just so. Why would you bring? I just don't understand why you bring him to a young team. Drew, man,
go for it.
Drew, man.
You, man. After everything you've been through with Alvin Gentry, now that this guy brought it, I don't know what is up with the Pelicans that are just so in love with our former coaches that just didn't pan out. Alvin Gentry was here during the Grant Hill days, and now they got Stan Van Gundy over there. I can say this for one positive for SVG being there. He will make Zion the center point of their offense. Zion's numbers will be ridiculous. He tried doing that with Dwight Howard, and Dwight Howard was a superstar in the league. He tried doing it with Andre. He surrounded him with a lot of good talent, then didn't re-sign everybody and traded everybody away. Didn't make a whole lot of sense there. But he will get pieces around Zion to make Zion better and form that team around him. That is the one positive. The rest of it, not so much. Although I am glad we will be bringing it back. Form a fucking wall quote. I'm glad that will be back in the swing of things. But I can't get it. I don't, because I heard they wanted Jeff Van Gundy too.
I would have taken him in the heartbeat.
They're both dumb. They're both dumb. Like,
yep. I don't know if you can call Jeff dumb. Like, Jeff has been a pretty good coach.
Jeff's a smart brother. Stan's the stupid one that got held back. Jeff would have Lonzo and them boys playing how they're supposed to play. Like, I know that just from his commentary on their game.
Which is never.
Huh?
He's always getting punched in the face by his players when they're in fights and stuff.
Hey man, Jeff Van Gundy is a real one, dog, and I feel like he's never had the talent of Zion. Like, he had Patrick Ewing in the boy, but I would say this is a little bit more talented. So he would have been a much better choice.
What's going to happen if they don't make the playoffs this year, though?
No, I can't. Bro, I see it being a dumpster fire, so I don't really see them making the playoffs. Maybe they'll have a running record.
If they don't make the playoffs, because for the Pelicans to do this is a playoff coach. Whether they believe it or not, he got there with the Pistons. We got swept. He made Orlando. They went to the finals with Dwight Howard. Yeah. And then I believe he was in Miami with Shaq and Dwayne Wade when they went. So they're like, all right, we got a guy who's been there and could take several teams there to the playoffs and get better there. But I'm looking at.
I don't think this is not a playoff like now move. Trust me.
Yeah, so maybe by year 2, when they don't make the playoffs there, they're going to trade Brandon Ingram away and they're going to trade Lonzo away to get better players to fit with.
Yep. They got Luke Kennard for Lonzo.
And it's stupid. That's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so y'all know me. I'm telling y'all right now. Y'all heard it here first. What is it? It's the 24th of October, 2020. It is 8:05. Well, I'm being real. If Stan Van Gundy has Zoe sitting in the corner the first 2 months, he gonna be traded. You know why? Clutch Sports, man. Y'all better learn and put some respect on Clutch Sports' name. They're all about money and they're all about getting Lonzo a bag. And Rich Paul is not gonna let SBG mess up his bag. Y'all think I'm just talking? Go look at all the Clutch Sports and their clients, bro. This is how it works. That's why they got him training with everybody and doing all this crazy stuff. Guarantee you, if he's in the corner the first 2 months, Zoe's gone. And I'm right to the Pistons. Come on. Come play with your brother because he's going to be here too.
Watch him go to the Celtics.
Right. Hey, I pray. Hey, don't do that to me. I already had Kyrie go to the Celtics, bro. When Kyrie went to the Celtics, my soul was just hurting. I'm like, oh, one of my favorite players on the Celtics. I just couldn't. Don't go to the Celtics, though, because then I can't root for you, bro. I can't root for you. Like, would it be sucky if he went to the Celtics and never left, bro? I would be the sickest man on the planet, dog. But I'm just saying, like, he'll be gone. And you are so right, Drew.
I know
about Brandon Ingram. they'll do this for a couple years, probably fail, and then try to move Bi and Zoe if he's still there, and then just bring in players for Zion, which is the dumbest shit ever. Instead of building with this young core, I'm telling you, man, they got that KD, Harden, Russ potential. Like this is one of them young cores, like them and like what do you call it, Denver Nuggets. They got, to me, no offense to any other young cores, I love Luka, but they got three monsters, Denver and I feel like this team over here, and they can be really special. But watch, SBG is gonna ruin it.
I fully agree, man. I don't get the move. I was, Pistons fans, we should be more pissed off at Stan Van Gundy because he said Detroit was his last stop. After that didn't work out, he said he was done. Never get back into coaching again. He lied. He lied to us, so we should be pissed off.
They're throwing the bag.
As I said off camera, if they trade, they said they're gonna put the ball in Holiday hands. We'll see if he lied. It's a lot of Drew Holiday talk. Now, if they trade Drew Holiday, I'll feel a little bit better, but only because it would force SVG to get Lonzo the ball, like because then he can't give it to nobody else. We'll see.
That's their Josh Smith, though.
What do you mean?
When we had Josh Smith, that was under Stan Van Gundy when we got rid of him, I do believe. Or was that no?
Yeah, he waived them.
Yeah, was it him? That was the one good thing Stan did for us. And after that, we won a handful of games until Jennings got hurt. I really think if the Pelicans do trade Holiday away, that will be their Josh Smith, and they'll go on a little run before dumbing.
No, I mean, but this is how people are going to be traded. This is how I knew, man. I knew Zoe was going to get traded, which is why I was watching Pelican games last season just to see if he could fit on the team with Etwan Moore and Drew Holiday. I was literally watching the game because I knew they was going to get traded there. When you being talked about this much, you're always traded. And if you name me another situation where a player is talked about this much and they're not traded, they're always traded at some point. So
it took Andre 8 years.
But see, Andre wasn't talked about like this though.
I don't know. He was talked about a lot.
Well, Tom Kors had the freaking handcuffs to Andre.
Yeah, he wasn't talking
LCA.
about like this. He wasn't talking about. He wasn't talking about like how Drew was being talked about like at this moment.
Yeah,
like because we never traded Andre. So to me, that means the talk wasn't really. Dog, Michigan needs to get it together. But we ain't traded like come on, y'all pissing me off. Right?
This is not Rutgers.
Hey, at least it's not Rutgers. But see, Michigan done distracted me. But with that team, I don't think it fits. And yeah, we got E-Dog saying SVG is a solid coach. How? He got a losing record with the Pistons and we sucked. And he destroyed every player that we had and didn't develop any players. So it is what it is. But we got 44 people in the chat with us. It's Free Smoke Saturday. Make sure you drop your questions during the stream. Like I said, I will answer some of them. We got 29 likes. Make sure you guys like that video. Let's move on. Done. I'm tired of talking about this.
Just wait.
Have you guys seen Stan Van Gundy
Pelicans, dog.
Wait till free agency and he signed some bums to a $12 million contract.
Like y'all
probably
remember
sign KCP back.
Y'all remember when De'Aaron Fox, I mean not De'Aaron Fox, when Luke Walton went to Sacramento, what was I saying? I'm like, oh dang, De'Aaron. I feel bad for you. Because I did not say that though. I said he's gonna destroy that team. This man went there and put Buddy Hield on a damn bench. And I like Bogey. But damn, bro.
Now he's got Alvin Gentry too.
It's just like, but you see what I'm saying? He went there and just destroyed a good situation and made it worse. And I just feel like it's gonna be the same way. I pray the players can figure it out and maybe make the playoffs or something, but it ain't looking good for them. But all right.
Have you guys seen Stan Van Gundy dribble the ball? Whatever you could put together.
Yeah.
Man, I swear, man, I cannot like y'all don't understand how distraught I am having this man back on a team that I like. Like it is just ripping me apart. Like I just can't believe they were so stupid. Okay, so it's something that I wanted to talk about. So talking to some Pistons fans, and they were talking about Luke Kennard and like what his ceiling could be. And they made an interesting type of comparison, which I thought is something that we could talk about. So being that like Luke is going to be moved to point guard, like he will be playing point. I don't know. Y'all don't want to accept it, but it's going to happen and it should have been happening. And when I mean point, I don't mean he's going to be the pseudo point guard. We got guys like Fred VanVleet. He plays point with Kyle Lowry. And even in Miami, a lot of them play point. So Luke, could he be like a better shooting version of Goran Dragic at his ceiling? seeing as how Goran only averaged like 5-6 assists a game. But he's still a point guard, and he can score. They're different type of players, but I feel like Luke could have that scoring output and that aggressiveness like in his prime because Goran is a super vet, so he's had years to become as seasoned as he is. But I thought it was a very interesting type of comparison because it's very interesting because I definitely think Luke can handle the ball, but he just needs the opportunity to be able to do things. So I just wanted to know what y'all thought about that. We're gonna start with you, Pistons Talk.
Oh, I actually see Luke as a different player. I don't see Goran Dragic. I see more of a I know people probably yell at me for it, but a little Manu Ginobili in his game where he's going to average some assists, he's going to get some points up, he's going to come off the bench if he has a bench role, or if he's starting, he's going to produce. But I definitely could kind of see him kind of getting like 5 to 6 assists a game and putting up 15 points a night easily. But Goran Dragic is interesting. I didn't think about that.
No, as I said, that's why I brought it up. Okay. Finally, Michigan get it together. All right, Detroit Drew, man. What's your thoughts on this, man?
I do like that Manu Ginobili one. I really do like that comparison.
I don't know why y'all compare this man to Manu.
Well, they got a different style of game, but I think his point there was like Luke's gonna be good at whatever he has to do. Like if he's starting, coming off the bench, playing the point, playing the two, whatever he's gonna do. Like Luke's gonna give you some good minutes, no matter where you're doing them at. But for the Goran Dragic one, I mean, yeah, I would mean okay, yeah, I can kind of see it. Dragic is going to be a better playmaker and setter upper, but Luke's got good ball handling.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Dragic averages 4.8 assists for his career, so that's right around what Luke was doing last year.
I mean, like early on in his career, Dragic never really had an opportunity. I believe he backed up Nash, and once he took over, he hasn't really been on good teams until he went to Miami. I mean, he's okay, but I mean, he was never like the guy. Luke is actually a solid option. Like he could be a number 1 or a number 2 on a couple of different teams in the league. Like Luke's got a lot of talent out there, but the thing that makes Luke Kennard so unique and a player that every team should want is he is more than just a shooter. His defense does need to get better, but he averaged 4.5 assists last year. Like that's really good for what we drafted him. Like we drafted him because he was a shooter. When he can do stuff like that, it's just adding layers to his game, and I love it. I think that, if he does play point guard, he will be a really good one and a really good option for the Pistons. I just hope he can stay healthy.
Yeah, I don't think I know what you're saying about Manu, but I feel like Manu is he's more what you're saying. He's like he can do everything guy. I don't think Luke is a do everything guy. Like he can do everything, but I think he really could be averaging like 6.5 assists a game and be giving you 19 points. While shooting good. I really think he could do that. He just needs the ball in his hands. And Alex LaFrancois, I don't know what he was referring to, but he brought up Rip Hamilton. And I'm gonna make this comparison. Now you were saying that Drew, you were saying that Dragic wasn't really the guy, but if you look at Miami's run, Dragic was the leading scorer the whole entire time. And once he left, the team just didn't have it no more. And when I'm looking at it like that, Rip Richard Hamilton, basically my favorite Piston during the 2004 Piston era, he was always the leading scorer, but he never really got credit for that. But he was always the leading scorer every single year, even if it was by a point. It wasn't by a lot, but he was the lead. He was the best scorer on the team, like truly. So, and I feel like Goran Dragic filled in that role. And with Luke, like I want to see him get the ball in his hands, man. Like I said, he don't have to be primary, but the secondary guy behind whatever point guard we get, I like it, man. Like I said, and when you're averaging 4 assists and you're not even handling the ball, like Bruce Brown, he averaged 4 assists, but he got the opportunity to play point guard. Like he was handling the ball a whole lot. Luke was doing that, just playing like backup PGs for the bench. Like he wasn't like running point. So I feel like Bruce had more opportunity. Like if you give Luke that opportunity, he's gonna give you 6 assists a game. Like, and I'm definitely taking that. I don't think people realize how valuable it is to have a playmaker that can shoot like Luke Kennard. We've never really seen one like that. Like I guess you could say Steph, cause like he's the only one, right? Like they can shoot that good, but I got vision. I can throw the ball. I got handles. I can break you because once you can shoot like that, it makes people so hard to guard you. Just imagine Luke Kennard is coming off the pick and roll with Blake Griffin. What are you gonna do?
Nothing.
You gonna leave? You go like I'm saying, like you gonna leave Luke Kennard open? What? You gonna leave Luke Kennard open? No. So if you're not leaving Luke Kennard open, now he's giving it to Blake Griffin. You gonna cover Blake Griffin if we thinking he's the same player 1v1? No, you're not. That's a foul. That's a score. And that's what I envision for him. Like, if you put Luke in the pick and roll, what are you doing about it? Like, with certain players, like, it's just like, it's a nightmare. And we need to start to developing our players into better basketball players. I feel like Miami, they're filled up, and I'm not trying to be like them. We got our own culture. But I feel like they're filled with a whole lot of players that are great basketball players, and that will be better if they were on their own team. But they all mushed together in their team. So Duncan Robinson was able to be more opportunity. He gave you 17, 18 a game. You know what I'm saying? And Tyler Hero somewhere else with even more opportunity, he's being more of a star. But they got all of them really, 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 really good basketball players that put them on one team with a star and Jimmy Butler and was successful. And when I'm looking at us, I think you got to develop Luke Kennard the right way. You know what I'm saying? You got to develop him as a playmaker. You have to develop Sekou as he should be developed. Like, I dream of Luke Kennard and Sekou in the pick and roll. What you gonna do about that? What's your thoughts, Bravo?
I think I really like Luke Kennard, and I think he's a really great scorer for us. He's going to be a best scorer, if you ask me, in this future for us. We don't have a better option in the pick and roll than Luke Kennard right now. Reggie Jackson is gone. Andre Drummond is gone as a role guy. He is the man. He needs to take the charge. If you compare a ceiling, I like Tyler Hero, and I think he can be like a similar role as Tyler Hero. I mean, he's a younger player, obviously. But Luke Kennard, if he plays like Tyler Hero, he's going to be all-star for us.
Yep.
The other two I can see, I mean, this is really overkill, but I think it's not impossible. Luke Kennard can stay healthy 100%, play a full season, and he can play defense. He could be like a comparison in the same conversation. I don't want to say the same conversation. Don't quote me. He could be a poor man version of Devin Booker, a scorer for the Pistons.
Oh, God.
He can be a poor man version of CJ McCollum. He can be a huge scorer for us. He's not at that level, but he can be closer to that level. And I think he would love to be like a Tyler Hero type player. Why not?
No, like I said, like I would say Hero is better at a younger age, but I don't see any difference, man. And like the only difference is Hero gets all the opportunity in the world to be great. And Luke had a coach that was putting him in the G League. I'm with you there, Bravo. I keep saying it. I've watched Luke offensive game. If he's taking 17, 18 shots, this man will be scoring 20, 22 with ease just because he's such a good shooter. I definitely want him to be a scorer for this team. We know he's not going to ever be an elite defender or nothing like that. You gotta get in where you fit in. Luke is a scorer who can play make. So I think we need to use him as that. All right, man. Anybody else got thoughts on this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. So let's see. All right, so the NBA, they're talking about a restart date. And they're talking about restarting in, you've heard December, you've heard January, you've heard March. Now, I have my own opinion on what's actually going to happen. But what do you think is going to go on with the NBA restart? What do you think is going to start up in like all of these rumors? We're going to go to you, Bravo.
They don't even know right now. They're still debating and they're talking. The reason why they're doing this because they're trying to get an opportunity from the government to see whether the fans can go back into the stadiums. It's not going to happen. Let's face it. Not at least in this coming few months. We get COVID wave 2 right now. It's going to happen. There's no way we're going to get fans right now in the buildings. So it's going to be empty arenas again. So what the proposal right now, initially they were proposing Martin Luther King Day as a start or the beginning of January. They probably move it. The other debate is if this is not happening, if no fans at the building, the Adrian Wojnarowski mentioned that they were talking about possible start as December. So a Christmas Day. It's possible. For me, I don't think it's going to start before the new year. If we started the new year, we'd be very lucky actually because of the cap space situation, of the situation of COVID. There's a lot of things. And I don't really exclude the possibility of another bubble or a mini bubble thing. This has been a very, very productive bubble this last playoffs. And I don't see why the NBA could play another bubble. So if that's the case, it might take them another. I don't know how much time they need.
I'm about to say they can't have a bubble because it's too many teams.
It's hard. It's hard because I don't know. So it's really hard.
So my thoughts on this is like we're hearing things, but I don't think it's gonna start to like March. You might, because I've been doing a lot of calculating. We'll see. I could be wrong.
You think in March?
The NBA all season is usually like 5 months.
Yeah.
And especially like usually your season ends in like April. Usually, if you're a regular team that didn't make the playoffs, and then you're not getting back to like September, or that's when the season starts. You go to training camp. Usually the season like 4.5 to 5 months. Like I mean, the season just ended like what, September, early October, or something like that. Late September, I can't remember. But it just ended like 3-4 weeks ago. So like they're gonna need like 4 or 5 months off like usual. Or they should be getting that same, especially when you had to do that little restart for the season. Of course, the players who didn't go to the bubble will have probably like a year to get better, whatever. But my point is, they got to get these guys off season. You know, like you're just gonna shorten their off season now. Like I don't think they can do that if they want to. Adam Silver can do whatever the hell he wants. But I don't think like this December return. I don't think that's happening. I think January, February, or March, because I say March because you don't want to interfere with the football season. So you don't really want to do it in December. You don't want to do it in January. You want to do it after the Super Bowl, which is around March, because March was the first date that they had. And I'm like, that makes sense. But now, you know how NBA fans are. You know how probably the money is probably talking right now. And they like, maybe we need to start it sooner.
Yeah, that's really bad.
It should be March. Like March should be the date. You get them a full off season. By that time, they should have the plans fully set, and that should be where it should go. But it could be in January, but a December return, I'll be upset with the NBA. They did something like that, and I want basketball just as much as everyone else. But I don't know if that's right. But Pistons talk. What's your thoughts on this?
So I was just reading Woj's article about possibly December 21st or 22nd. They will make a decision by October 30th whether that's a date, and they're going to shorten the season to 72 games versus 82 games.
Okay.
So I've heard from, I don't know if this is official, this is from John Hollinger of The Athletic. They're talking about kind of having a round robin tournament among divisions. So the Pistons, obviously, they're in the Central Division. You'd have Indiana, Cleveland, Chicago, and Milwaukee. And us kind of in, I don't want to say a bubble, but kind of have like, a tournament. So, we play them each 2 times a season. So kind of get that.
They it's funny. I feel like they trying to do it like how college football is.
Yeah. So
with all those conferences, that could actually work a little bit though, maybe.
Yeah. So I don't know. Let's say we finish all of our Central Division games, then we're going to go to another conference in the Eastern Conference until you get all those 72 games out, and they're going to try to push this out. I think until like May, June to get it over with. So they're going to be playing a lot of games. So I honestly don't know. I think January, Martin Luther King Day, is more realistic to me because there's not going to be any fans in the arena anyways. So you might as well just, try to push it out, try to get on track for 2 seasons so you don't have to, play in January and December again.
Yeah, I just feel like, and plus, like I said, can the players get a damn off season? Like, they started in December. That's like a 3-month off season. I'm like, come on, man. Like, y'all can't do that. But like I said, when the money is talking like that, but I feel like once we get to like March, this whole COVID-19, it will be in a much different space. You know what I'm saying? Like that's almost 6 months from now. So I think it will be better. But Drew, what's your thoughts on this?
I love the later start time, just as a fan standpoint, because we always get basketball and football around the same time. Those are really the 2 most popular sports in America. They're my 2 favorite sports to watch. And come December and January, football's starting to wind down. You're starting to get into playoff territory there, and it's about over with. That's when the NBA will start going. So that way your ratings are going to be up. More people are going to be able to watch them because it's always like, oh, man, there's going to be Kansas City versus Baltimore tonight. Do I want to watch that? Or do I want to watch the Knicks versus the Pelicans? And more people are going to watch the football game because it's going to be playoffs versus, a poor Knicks team. And now that New Orleans got Stan Van Gundy, I'm going to keep bringing that up for like the entire son of the show. It's just like people are going to tend to watch that. So NBA ratings will be down usually. It's kind of what happened this year in the bubble. A lot of the reasons the ratings were so low is because football came back and more people miss football and wanted to watch that and check their teams out. So I like it for that standpoint. But you're right, though. They do need to wait a little bit longer to give the guys who were just in the bubble a time to recover and get healthy. But, we're not looking at it that way because we haven't watched Pistons basketball since March. So we want it to start sooner so that way we can watch our team sooner. But I'm all for it starting in January so that way when football's pretty much over, everyone can switch back to basketball and we'll have no dead period. Once basketball's over, football season starts, and it keeps going that way. So that way we always have good sports on TV. I would love that just to be a little bit selfish, but I'm cool with whatever.
I mean, look, I want to see them play, and I see people in the chat talking about basically the other teams that didn't make it to the bubble had an off season, but did they really though? It was kind of like a pandemic, I think like how much could you really have done? And now things are way more free. We still look like way more free, and I just feel like teams of like what do you call it? Now we got the little new bubble where Detroit and all these other teams can go practice and stuff. Like now it's a lot of things that you just couldn't do. So yeah, they had those extra 4 or 5 months off during the pandemic, but that it was an off season, but it just wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't the same as having a regular off season that the players in the bubble do matter. And they were just in a bubble for 70 days. I don't know how long it was. But however long they were in the bubble, give them a break, man. You know what I'm saying? Like just start it with the new year. No point in trying to rush it. You know what I'm saying? But all right, guys, make sure you guys drop your questions in the chat. We got one more topic for you guys. And Bravo, I'm gonna need you to take this one away. The Pistons trade rumors and the NBA trade rumors. Let's talk about it. So Bravo, what have you been hearing about the Pistons trade rumors? What's going down? You on mute, Bravo.
Yes. Interesting that Zach Lowe has talked about Blake Griffin. And there is a chance that he could be traded if he's like, let's say, close to 100%, even if he's not 100%. And I think it's a possibility that it's interesting that how they brought Blake Griffin trade rumors, and they brought it actually to multiple teams. We have the first rumor, Blake Griffin plus the 7th pick for the Pistons into the Golden State Warriors in return for Andre Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and the 2nd overall pick, which is kind of an interesting thing. I'll be really thinking about it. That's really
I'm loving all parts of that.
Yeah.
Like we get my boy Jordan Poole. Hell yeah. Bring my boy back home. So yeah, I'm being biased. I'm being Kuzma level biased. Bring my boy Jordan Poole back. Y'all don't know. I was the highest dude in the world on Jordan Poole. I told people he was gonna be straight because I knew he would. But bring Jordan Poole back to the crib.
Yeah, there was also other trade rumor. I think it was to the which other team Pistons talk?
So they talked about the Utah Jazz possibly sending us Mike Conley, who has 1 more year in his deal, and maybe a 1st-round pick. But I don't really see Utah doing that. They kind of have a big front court already. They got Rudy Gobert. I doubt they want Blake Griffin down there clogging the paint. I think even Philly's been in the rumors with, Al Horford and I can't think of his name, Zaire Smith or something like that. The guy that allergic to peanuts or whatever. That was a possibility. I've even seen Westbrook for Blake straight up and CP3.
Yeah, so that's where we about to go because I saw this. I was just scrolling up in the comments and I saw this because I didn't see this earlier. Let's go. Now,
and I just saw this yesterday. Just to add one more thing, just one more spice up. Blake Griffin to the Phoenix Suns in return for Kelly Oubre, Frank Kaminsky, and a couple of 1st-round picks, which is kind of interesting.
Devin Booker, so
no, it's not Booker. It's kind of interesting. Ricky Rubio also in the deal.
No damn Ricky Rubio.
Okay,
all right. Look, so so everyone knows when Westbrook was on the market. Not everyone should listen to me. I wanted to pick him up like instantly because we would have been good. But now things are how they are, and we still got the anti-Westbrook people on this panel. It's all good. Y'all can be anti-Russ. It's all good because we don't accept no Russ slander. We don't accept no Russ slander. It's like no. But anyway, so would you give up Blake for Westbrook? I'll say 100% yes, but and that don't it's many basketball reasons for that don't even have to do with me being biased. Like it's a myriad of reasons. But okay, oh, man, I would love for that to happen. That'd be a miracle, though.
That's Troy Weaver's guy. You never know.
Hey man,
Yeah, he might
because like we get like Russ got a big contract too, but he'll be good for the next 4 years, so he'll be able to help us compete. You put him around Kennard and Fee. Like Kennard and Fee are still better. Kennard and Fee will be the best shooters he's ever been around. I know how y'all feel about Russ. I could care less.
Over
but all right,
KD?
Drew. What do you mean? Over KD? Man, KD's a scorer. I don't consider him a shooter.
Russ would probably win another MVP if he came here.
He can score at every level. KD's not a spot up shooter. Like, you know what I'm saying? He can spot up shoot, but he ain't a spot up shooter like that. He don't want to do that. But all right, would you trade Blake for Westbrook straight up?
You know what? Yeah, probably.
What? Stop playing, Drew.
No, look, it's a win-win for both teams. We fell to 7. More likely or not, I really don't think Killian's going to be there. So with LaMelo and Killian off the board, you're not going to get a point guard who is going to have a really high ceiling right away. You can take a shot on Cole Anthony, and hopefully he can develop, but he's probably going to need a year or two. Yeah. Same thing with Kira Lewis. I'm not high on Halliburton. They really need to get a star at point guard, and Westbrook's a top 3 guard in the league. Coming here in the Eastern Conference, I don't think there's a guard here who could stop him or even try to guard him like that. You know, I like, come on, like there's not one out there in the Eastern Conference, and go against people like KD and Kyrie in Brooklyn. You're going to need a point guard to score some buckets, and he is a really good assist person. You know, Luke and Mahalo, he said you're going to get a lot of good looks, but Sekou would develop way, way faster. You get a lot more open looks and opportunities. You can look at how well Jeremy Grant played for OKC when he was there. Once it was Westbrook's team, Steven Adams played really well, so you can go ahead and get another center. It's going to work well with Westbrook. And then Blake going to Houston, him and James Harden would fit together. They go ahead and get a big man that can score and do something that they're missing there. So I think that it could be a win-win for both teams. I just don't think that if the Pistons got Westbrook, that it makes us a contender. We still need another piece. He can't do it all by himself. And he is getting up there in age. He's 30-something now. Same thing with Blake Griffin. He's just not injury-prone. So you will actually get your money's worth from Westbrook at this point in time.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he would make us a contender. We definitely gonna need another piece, but he'll have us in probably 5th seed and maybe out the first round. And at this point, I'll take it. It's better than not making it. You know, and who knows what could happen if our players develop. You know, like Luke and Steve and Sekou. Like, what if these guys develop? And you know, we don't know how else we would fill out the roster. But Bravo, what's your thoughts on this?
I like the player. I mean, if you ask me right now, if you want to just match the players, Blake Griffin into Houston, he would work for them. And Westbrook also would work for us because we need a point guard, and Westbrook is a really durable player. He's been proven he's a really good, durable. He just got injured this year a little bit, but I think he's still good. He's better than Blake. But would I do the deal? I really don't think so. Because of the fact that Russell Westbrook contract, man, he has 3 years left in his contract. And the next year is going to be $41 million, then $44 million, then a player option of $47 million. That's going to kill our cap space for sure. We'd rather get off Blake Griffin contract quicker this way, keeping him with us. And I think we can get some better deal in return to Blake. Even it might not be as good player as Westbrook, but I'm at this point rather just not stick with the money. This is too much money for us, and we don't want to really get screwed again for the next 3 or 4 years. That's why I'm gonna say no, just because of the money. Although I like the idea.
No, I mean I definitely understand that, but I'll just say this: you got to pay to play. It don't come cheap, you know. But if you don't want to pay him $47 million, I'm not gonna be mad at you. But you got to pay to play out here. You know, it's big boy leagues out here. Like Blake it's big boy leagues out here. But all right, Pistons Talk, what's your thoughts?
I think it'd actually be a really good swap. I think Blake and Harden would actually complement each other better than a Westbrook Harden backcourt. And I actually would like this deal. I know there's a lot of years left on his deal. He's older, but the way I'm looking at it is Westbrook would probably win another MVP if he was a Detroit Piston because his stats are going to be so inflated and high because there's not going to be a lot of people around him that are going to have that same impact level and the same kind of production that he would give you. Now, what are you? Maybe a 6th seed, maybe a 5th seed with Russ on the team. You're going to have certain players that complement his game. You're going to need shooters like Luke Kennard to, constantly hit his shots in speed. I would probably do it just because I don't know what's there with Blake Griffin. I don't know if that knee is 100%, healthy. 2 arthroscopic surgeries in less than a year. That's kind of concerning to me, but I would go for Russ all day. I know some people in the comments saying, oh, no way, he's got too much money left on his deal or he's 30. Like, you know what? Tom Gores isn't going to rebuild anyway, so you guys have to get used to it.
First of all, Pistons talk. I need you to say that again because I don't think they heard you.
Tom Gores will not rebuild. Get used to it.
Exactly, and I think that a lot of Pistons fans are in denial about that. Tom Gores is about money.
Yeah, that's true.
LCA has literally been like a top 3, top 5 arena in the United States since it's been built. I'm talking about from revenue to all this other stuff. So he's all about the bread. And if he can bring Russ here, everybody's showing up. And I think with Russ, it's not just bringing Russ here. You got to have to build a team around him that works. I would love pairing him back up with Ibaka, and Ibaka fits for Russ game much better than he did back in the day because he can stretch the floor. And Luke and Speed, like Houston, we talk about Houston and their shooters, but really their best shooter is like 39% Ben McLemore. Like I said, yes, he played with Kevin Durant, but Kevin Durant is a 3-level scorer that can score from anywhere. He can shoot great too, but I don't think he's like a shooter. I think he's a scorer. But he hasn't played with no pure shooters like Speed. Like, could you imagine Russ running downhill 10,000 miles an hour, kicking it to Speed? And then Speed, guess what? They rush at Speed real fast, so he kicks it open to a loop that's just wide open at the top of the key. Like, bro, I will dream about that and love it. And when I'm looking at, he's going to up our franchise, make our franchise better. And I would still like having Derrick Rose on the team as the backup. True. Like, I don't think that, I don't want them on the court at the same time, but you probably will have to. One of them, sometimes, you know how stuff is, even though that don't work defensively. But I still would love having Derrick Rose here. But maybe you move Derrick Rose too, and you get something else from Houston. Like one of their shooters, or try to get Rocco, who I really want with all my heart. I want Rocco so bad, even though I think he's a free agent or something. But if we can get Rocco, get me Rocco now. Like, I'll take PJ Tucker. Like, I feel like we could definitely work something out. And like I said, it wouldn't just be about this year, because now you can draft around Russ, you can build around Russ, and once he's gone, we will be a much better team by that point. And he Pistons Talk is right. That man will win MVP easily. He'll be averaging 35, 10, and 13, dog. Like, numbers would be crazy. But all right, guys, it's Free Smoke Saturday, as everyone knows. We got 43 people in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video if you haven't already. Make sure you guys drop your questions in the chat. If you dropped some questions earlier, re-drop them. I'm going to answer everything. All right. Let's see. Bravo. This is going to you. This long all season might help Luke, D Rose, and Blake's health. What do you guys think? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it helps for sure. Luke is tendonitis is getting a break, and Blake is definitely rehabbing. I think he's probably going to be good when he comes back. Is he going to be 100%? I don't know. He's going to be probably careful when he plays. I think it's a good season for him. Rose is being great already. He's already been healthy, I think. There's no significant issues with him. I think you just need to maintain his, level of fitness.
Yeah, and I don't really think he was, like, he had a couple nicks, but the Pistons really did right by him because we rested him a lot. We never overplayed him. And, he was basically healthy the whole time. Like, it was some game, he'll miss, 5-6 games, but he didn't really miss a lot of games, and he was basically available. So he was like some of the healthiest he had ever been. And that's what I like, one thing about the Pistons, though. I don't know how they've done it, but Blake and D Rose, guys who were injured like that, they come here and they have some of their most healthy seasons. I just feel bad for running Blake into the ground, because I think he would his career might be been better off in the long run if he didn't have to run into the ground to get us to the playoffs like that and have to have another surgery. But what you think about that Pistons talk?
About what? Oh, Luke and D Rose and Blake health. I think not playing back like actual like competitive basketball against real NBA players. Yeah, I think they'll be healthy whenever the season does start. You probably won't see people taking load management when the season does start. Sky's the limit for those guys. I hope they can all play a full season.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, man. Drew, what do you think about this, man?
I mean, the more time they got to be healthier, the better. All those guys have been injury riddled for the last couple of years now, and they're going to have over pretty much a year off. I think that they're going to be healthy, and those really are players that have a huge impact on our team. I can't wait for them to come back.
Okay, some of these questions in the chat are hilarious. Like, I'm looking at these questions. Shout out to y'all. Keep dropping the questions. This is like some of these questions I just had to laugh because it was some questions about getting Dame Lillard. Like, y'all are tripping right now. But let me scroll up. Okay, E-Dog says Russ will thrive with Lukin's feet. Yes, he would. Like, I know people have whatever. Y'all know he's my favorite player, but not because of his play. It's just because his mentality and the way he plays the game. Like I said, the way Russ played the game is how you should live your life. Live your life with that type of passion. But like, you just got to build a better team around him. Like that Houston team is terribly built with a horrible philosophy, small ball. You idiots. It's just like it wasn't gonna work for him or Harden. They both need to get out of there. But all right, let's see. Let's see. How do we define superstar? Because I wanted to talk about, is Jimmy Butler a superstar? Do y'all want to talk about that a little bit later before we go? Because I think that's an interesting question.
Yeah, sure.
All right, cool. Well, how do we define a superstar? I'll say this, any of you can respond. Simply, obviously, they have to be a superstar because they're a star. Perennial all-star, and you have to lead the league in something more than once. So, like, whether it's scoring, whether it's assists, and you have to have an MVP, straight up. There's no superstars without MVPs, and if you don't have an MVP and you're a superstar, it's because you doing some crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing some crazy, like Dame Lillard. Like, he don't have the accolades, but he a superstar, bro. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I really define superstar at. Like we'll get into Jimmy Butler. I don't really think he's a superstar because he's never led the league in anything. You don't have those accolades. That's why Kawhi Leonard on some all-time list isn't as high, because in the regular season, he's done nothing, low-key. Kawhi ain't did shit in the regular season. Nothing. Playoffs, he got 2 finals MVPs. Good for you, great. But in the regular season, he didn't do anything. But anybody else want to comment on how they define a superstar?
Someone that's constantly in first team All NBA. That's who I kind of, if they make like an All NBA team, to me they would kind of be in that tier of superstar. I think third team, second team, and first team, you can make a case for them being superstars.
So let me ask you this: Did Blake have one superstar year because he was third team All NBA? And it was low key. It was his best season, low key.
That I was looking. He had I think 26 games where he scored 30 plus points. Like that's
Blake he had a 50-point game one, bro. He was a monster.
To me, that's you're kind of treading the water of superstar.
And like if you don't want to give him that superstar, not cool. But I felt like he was top 3 at his position, and him and LeBron James were the only players, and I think like Harden and Russ were the only players averaging like 25-6 and like 4 or better. Like so, he was great that year. I hope we can get that back so we can trade him. I love you, Blake, but it's a business. All right, J-Mo, how do I feel about RJ Hampton? I like RJ Hampton. I think he could be a Westbrook type of player. I think he's a tweener, but I think he can play point guard and shooting guard. I like his athleticism. I like his drive. I like his scoring ability. I like his defensive tenacity. Like I like RJ Hampton. Like he's a player that I do like. I know Pistons Talk is high on him. So how do you feel about RJ Hampton?
Bro, like I remember like a month ago, I jokingly said, "Watch the Pistons draft RJ Hampton." Like as a joke. Like I didn't honestly think that he would go in the mocks from like 19th to 7th over the past week. Like straight up. Like I think that's kind of a guy Troy Weaver likes, kind of like a tall, athletic, like you said, Westbrook. You kind of see like Westbrook type of athleticism. When I look at him, I see Zach LaVine all day. Like that's the type of player I think he can be.
Yeah, because he's a tweener as well. That athleticism, no, I'm with you. Now, if he could score like that, that'd be something special.
The jump shot looks nice. He changed it.
Oh, he changed his jump shot?
Yeah, he completely. He reworked.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Look,
I'll send you a video of it.
Oh yeah, I gotta see that. I need to see. Here's something, folks, because we seen Jordan Bone do it. We seen Lonzo Ball do it, and I keep telling y'all, LaMelo Ball is gonna have to do it, and so is Tyrese Halliburton, bruh. Not everybody comes in with the perfect mechanics. Sometimes you just gotta change your jumper if you really want to be great, bro. And like I'm telling you, I don't care how good, unless Melo shooting 40% from three, then I'll take this back. He gonna have to adjust his jump shot. It's just a little bit funky. You know, like he can still score at a high clip. You know, he's mellow. But same thing with like that's why Bruce, like, we haven't made a big deal, but he had to alter his shot so he can shoot the ball. So you just gotta, want to make yourself better. I agree with E-Dog. Russ can definitely bring us to the playoffs. Does having Russ make Detroit a more desirable landing spot? 100%. Like Russ lands in Detroit, and let's say we 4 seed and actually get out the first round, or it's gonna be somebody's gonna want to come here because we'll have we would only be paying maybe like Russ and Luke, so we'll have cap space. But no, Russ would up our profile just like when Blake got here, but it would extremely up our profile. Or do people think he's a rental? He wouldn't be. We probably would hold on to him for dear life, knowing us. But like I said, my thing with Russ is I think he gonna be a top 5 guard for the next 3 years, and I'm taking that. You know what I'm saying? So after that, who knows? But at least for the next 3, he's gonna be top 5, top 7 at worst. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be one of the best players in the league. And it's just about the team that you build around him. End of the day, I like winning. Like, so if y'all want to keep losing and hoping that Blake needs hold up, good. But if we can help us win some games, I would do that. Who's the best point guard in the NBA? Steph Curry. As much as I don't like him, Steph, I can't take away. I'm not this recency bias. Dame is a better deep shooter than Steph just because his stats say so. That type of stupid stuff. But make sure you guys drop your questions in the chat. All right, Drew, I'm gonna throw this to you. What do we need to do to get Damian Lillard?
Trade for him. That's perfect. Whatever
trade what?
Whatever they want, except for Sekou, give it to him. I've been a fan of Dame Lillard since he came into the league. I knew he was going to be the guy for it. I knew he was going to be the right fit. Damian Lillard is probably one of my favorite players outside of Detroit to watch. I love his game. I love his attitude. I love everything he says during the media. He keeps it at 100, and he doesn't cut it. He's a superstar, and he always feels disrespected because he's always disrespected. It fits with Detroit's mindset. We're always the underdogs. No one gives us the credit. If we ever traded for Damian Lillard, I would be so happy, man. Like, do whatever the hell they want because I want him here in Detroit.
All right. Bravo, thoughts on this?
What do I think of what? But to get Damian Lillard, I just don't think we can. I'm sorry. I don't think we can get him. That's the answer.
Okay.
He likes it there, and they like him there. Why would they trade him?
Because he got a $200 million contract. That's why. That's $200 million reasons to trade, and they not gonna be winning that. So, it is what it is. Make sure you guys continue to drop your questions in the chat. We gonna get to some more questions before we go out of here. Thoughts on Hassan Whiteside and how we will work with the Pistons, man. I don't. Hey, y'all. I want y'all to look at the screen real quick. Thoughts on Hassan Whiteside. Here's my thoughts. Like he said it for me, bro. Whiteside had a good year because he was playing with Damian Lillard. Let's not overreact. Anybody disagree with that though? Would you take Whiteside?
I'd take him.
Defense, like honestly,
he's a good rebounder, good shot blocker, but he's not going to play like he did in Portland here. He can play that much.
It depends, and he can screen for Luke. He can be a nice screener.
We don't really have a real point guard right now.
Luke.
Sean Don says, how would y'all feel about making a move with Sacramento to get Fox? I feel like we can finesse him, bro.
That'd be great.
Bro, Fox, Booker, Zoe, any guard that you think is gonna be special, I'm taking it. If they want to give us Fox, what do you want? I might give him Sekou for Fox. So, hey.
Oh, don't send Sekou to Sacramento.
I would never want to treat him like that. I'm sorry, Sekou, but it's Fox. Hook Cam says, who puts Detroit in a better position, Blake or Russ for the future? Russ 1000%. Russ would have us as a competitive playoff team. Russ is one of the best players in the league, Hook Cam. So no, he would definitely elevate our entire brand. Like you never know what would happen. You know, like players that feel much differently about a team once they compete, because Brooklyn Nets was Brooklyn Nets. They got KD and Kyrie all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Now Russ ain't KD and Kyrie, he's one guy. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's just a level of difference when it comes to bringing something. And I do like his leadership, and I think it will help us. All right, let's see. Number one concern regarding point guards is he adding a defender? Can he adequately stop a point guard for beating him off the dribble? Can he adequately defend the pick and roll? Is Luke defense adequate for the point guard? Well, Luke can play point guard and then guard another position. So no, he can't guard point guard straight up. But he is a better defender than he was his first 2 years.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to switch. Like you're gonna have.
You have to hide him.
That's what Golden State does with Steph Curry. Is he plays point guard, but he doesn't guard point guard. Clay does.
Yeah, or Draymond or something like that.
Yeah.
That you got to do the same thing. When he plays with speed, it makes it easier because he can stretch the floor. So you can't really blitz Luke like that on the offensively. But defensively, like he has gotten better. So I don't like that's one thing. When I know you're not supposed to be Kawhi Leonard, I just want to see you improve. He's a better defender, and I expect to see him put more effort in it at least. Let's see. Now, why are you still talking about Damian Lillard? If we get Damian Lillard, are we gonna be Eastern Conference finalists? I know. Damn, that was a hard no too. Because Raptors, Boston, the Nets, Bucks. If we run into one of them in the second round, you think we making it out?
No.
I don't know. We might beat the Bucks, or maybe the Raptors. But,
I gotta blame MR Pro Designs for all this shit, all the Damian Lillard crap. He did a swap of Christian Wood, James Harden, and Damian Lillard all on the same team. And some people are thinking that's realistic. I was just like, bro, it's just a jersey swap. Like, chill.
Wow, that's crazy. Let's see. I'm looking at some more questions. It was just a question about Kristaps. If a trade was available, would I get Kristaps? What's your thoughts on this?
Oh my goodness.
Pistons talk.
Nah, I'm straight.
Oh, I'm surprised. Drew?
Yeah. I mean, I like Dallas. Dallas is my second team outside of Detroit. Kristaps is going to be good this year. You know, he had that ACL bounce back year. He's going to get better. I don't know if he'll ever be as athletic as he once was, but he still played great, and he's improving defensively. He's a good rim protector. That might be something you might look to trade Blake for Kristaps on.
So I'm worried about his health. I'm not like usually I'm worried about health, but in a different fashion. Like when we got Blake, I'm worried about his health because I knew he was gonna miss games. So you know what I'm saying? But with Kristaps, I'm really scared for him because it seems like every time he started playing at a level, his knee get hurt. And when he had that ACL injury and stuff, I'm concerned about his knees. Even I think his knees is even worse than Blake's. Really. So I don't know, but if they do it,
I don't think Dallas.
I don't know.
Dallas.
I mean, because I'm just looking at the playoffs, man. But looking at the playoff, his knees just broke down out of nowhere. Like he wouldn't even he was balling, but they just broke down and he just out. I'm just like, how's Kristaps hurt? What happened? So I don't know, and maybe that's why Pistons Talk is so out on him because he probably don't trust them knees either. So,
bro, he skips leg day. I swear.
Every time they could go to a weird gym together.
I've seen sixth graders with more defined legs than Kristaps Porzingis, man. Like it's all upper body, which it's great. I mean, those legs are gonna snap. No wonder he got injured. Like, great player, but I mean, he's got to start doing more leg workouts. Those things are skinny. They're like bird legs. He looks like Big Bird out there.
What's your thoughts, Bravo?
No, because he's injury prone, and we don't want like another Blake here. Come on, man. He's gonna be worse than Blake. Trust me, maybe. You never know. He got already ACL, and he's got this is the playoff. He got his ankle or the other knee also got involved, like a meniscus, I heard. So what else left with the guy? He's got osteoarthritis developing early already.
Like the man, his knee injury, I don't even know what it was, but he tore his ACL and then like had knee injuries in like the same knees. Like,
yeah, it's over. It's over. He might not be
looking like. Look, I pray I'm wrong, but it's looking like a Brandon Roy type of, like them knees is done, bro. Like that's just how I feel.
Yeah,
I feel like his knees is done, like Brandon Roy type of stuff. Because like I don't think he's going to stop getting knee injuries. Like when you think about somebody like Zion, the type of knee injury he had, it's not nearly as serious. You can just surgery is always serious, but you can just get a surgery and you can tell that he can be better. But Kristaps, Zion, when something happens, then you can get on that level. But I love this. I love this, y'all. I got so much pushback on Sekou versus De'Aaron Fox. People are like, hell no, I ain't giving no Sekou for De'Aaron Fox. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Make me feel wrong because I won't Sekou no matter what, but I love De'Aaron Fox as a player though. So, this is a good question, Drew. So we could get Klay Thompson for Blake. Would you do it?
You're dreaming.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, again, a guy who was coming off an ACL injury, but Klay Thompson doesn't rely on his athleticism at all. So, hell yeah. I would even throw Luke Kennard in the mix.
Dang, why we got to get him Luke? And let's see, give me Pascal back, and then we can talk. What about you, Bravo?
It's not happening. We need to stop these kind of trades, man.
You don't know that it's not happening.
It's not happening. No way they're going to give us Klay Thompson for Blake Griffin. No way.
Tyrell Terry. Anybody know who Tyrell Terry is?
Yes, Tyrell Terry is a point guard. He is going to be like another Tyler Hero kind of player. Another way kind of he can shoot from long range. You can imagine another, talking about Steph Curry already, which I don't really doubt it, but he's really good point guard, 6'3", and he gained extra weight, extra height, so he's 6'3.5", and he is really a very impressive player. He can play the pick and roll, he can shoot. He's a small, but I really like him as a player, and he's probably projected at the end of the first round, but he's now moving up the draft, so he's probably mid first round maybe.
Let's see. I'm looking at
150 pounds or some crap like that.
Yeah, he was 160. That's what.
No, but Pistons talk. He gained 175. He reached to 175, 178 already. He's already bigger than Halliburton. He gained a lot of weight already.
Halliburton gained 20 pounds.
No, he lost 20 pounds.
Halliburton.
I'm about to say, Killian Hayes looking like he's 200. So what we talking about? Killian Hayes, look.
Halliburton gained that fat, man.
Killian Hayes gotta be 195, bro. That boy is ripped. All right.
Halliburton gave that body fat, man. That's why.
All right. Sean Dunn Sports says, what are some realistic goals the Pistons should be looking to accomplish this upcoming season besides developing the young talent? Well, if we're healthy, you got to make the playoffs. And besides making the playoffs and Dwayne Casey, I need to see more from you. I need to see big jumps from all of our young players, not just Bruce Brown. Because I expect Bruce Brown to get better every year. Y'all want to know why? Because Dwayne Casey loves him. So he's so invested that he's gonna force him to get better. Y'all know what I mean? So yeah. I expect Bruce Brown to have a big jump until he stops getting better. Every year I expect him to be oh, see what Bruce did? He got better again. I expect it to happen because he has to drive. And even though he spent a couple years in college, he does have a few years to get better. Look at Marcus Smart. That man can shoot threes now, average 20. So I'm hoping Bruce Brown can be like that someday. But what's your thoughts on this, Drew?
I really think that one of the things I'm looking at for this team, because I'm going into this thinking we're going to be a bad defensive team, we were pretty bad last year, is to get better than that. And again, it probably won't be a huge jump, but I just want to see some more commitment to getting better and some more effort out there, and just stop letting guys get easy dunks and layups against us and leaving shooters wide open. I just want to see the Pistons make a stride in that category, just become a better team defense.
What's your thoughts, Piston Talk?
If it's not developing talent, maybe trying to, you guys are probably gonna kill me for this, but get some more draft picks for Troy Weaver to, completely, build this team. I mean, playoffs sound nice, but I'm trying to be realistic. I don't see, unless it's like an 8 seed, I don't really see us really getting, 45, 50 wins next year.
I mean, if Blake's healthy, it's possible.
I'm about to say, if Blake plays 60 games with Derrick Rose, it's the East, bro. we were competing without Blake. It was just Drummond and Luke, dog. Like, come on.
But next year the Wizards entered the mix. Now that John Wall's gonna be back, Beal's gonna be back. Roy Hachimura, I like him. They got a lot of scoring right there. Indiana's gonna be a playoff team. You already know.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Indiana don't got Nate McMillan.
I guess that's gonna depend on what the hell they're gonna do with Turner and Depot. I'm not really too aware of their new coach.
This is the way I feel. The East is weak, and every year is a couple teams that jump up. And I'm not really worried about those teams. You say Washington, I'll believe it when I see it.
Miami's going to be there. Boston, Toronto.
I got Atlanta as a sleeper.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, I like Atlanta, but I still think I don't think they're better than us. So I still think we can get in there because a lot of these games, and I noticed when we were trying to make the playoffs 2018, it really come down to who got the ball last and who's the best player on the court. And that's why we won a lot of those games, because the ball was going to be in Blake hands, and he was usually better than the opponent in the East. So you had D Rose to that. Like I mean, maybe I was wishful thinking, but I think him and D Rose could be so nasty that we'd be like, bro, because all right, let's see, who is Emmanuel Quickly? Who's that?
So he's a second. He's not even in the second round pick. He's like a guard from the Kentucky, right? He's a Kentucky point guard. He plays with Tyrese Maxey.
Apparently the Pistons met with him twice. I don't know who that is, so I don't know.
He's gonna be like a looking.
That's Kyrie Thomas replacement. Just getting ready for it. Straight up, they're the same player.
You said whose replacement?
Kyrie Thomas. If the Pistons decide to get rid of him,
or he's like a replacement for Luke King, maybe. I don't know. He's a two-way player, probably.
Oh, this is a good question. Who would ever have a better year, Luke or Sekou? Go to you, Bravo.
That's a good question. So a better year in terms of, because how do you define the better year? Scoring or defense? If you're gonna ask me,
I would say stats plus eye test.
Yeah, stats. So stats, I think it's gonna be probably. I'm leaning towards Luke. He's a veteran. He's older. He's been here.
And wait,
he's
Bravo,
due for a breakout season.
When we mean stats, I don't mean like Luke is averaging more, but like who had a higher jump type of thing.
I think Luke. I think Luke. Yeah. Luke is probably due for a breakout season, and he's going to be the better player. Sekou, he's still 19. He is due for another year of getting better. That's what I want from him. Get better in everything if you can, and that will be a great season for you. And the next season, you're probably due for looking at a breakout season for Sekou. If he really becomes already a better player, it means he's already ahead of the line of the rest of our Piston players. Yeah,
I'm telling y'all. Hey, Sekou, dog. I'm telling you, he gonna have a bigger jump than we think if he get the opportunity. So, what's your thoughts on this, Luke? Not Luke. What's your thoughts on this, Drew?
Wow, that was weird.
Yeah, man, I'm looking at Luke's name, so I said his name.
I think it's good. They're both gonna have good years. I don't think one's gonna have a bad year. It's just gonna be how we wanted to define it, because Sekou's whole season is gonna be improvement based, and his numbers are going to look better from that standpoint. But I think Luke is going to have pretty similar numbers to what he had last year. He's just going to be able to do it a little bit longer because he's going to be healthier. But I think Sekou should have the better year because he's going to be improving. For Luke, it's just about staying healthy, and he'll have another good year.
What's your thoughts, Piston Talk?
I think Luke's going to have a better year because he's earned more trust with Dwayne Casey. And I could see Dwayne Casey kind of doing the same thing he did last year with Sekou. Kind of,
if he's not like agreeing with his attitude, you already know how it's gonna be.
I
man.
know, but I hate to hear you say the truth. The truth hurt, like it don't feel good to hear it. Like,
man, I'm blunt to the point. The way I see Dwayne Casey coaching these kids, him and Sekou butt heads. Sekou does not always, they're not always on the same page when it comes to, buying into the system. Sekou is more concerned about, I want to play my game. Dwayne Casey's like, go sit on the bench. I'm going to go play Bruce for 48 minutes. Like, straight up. Like, I think Luke could have a better season, but Sekou should have the better season because that is like I hate to say franchise player, so young, but he has to be our franchise.
It's so much pressure on Sekou. It's ridiculous because like I'm gonna be like the amount like Sekou could eat, like we don't know what he's gonna be, but he could just be like a 19, 20 point guy. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. He was drafted 12th. Like no one, I think 12th or was it 15th, whatever. No one would be upset
15.
about that. And we put this like you gonna be a superstar or a perennial level all-star type pressure on him. But obviously it's because I know what I see. I haven't seen a player like that with that skill set at that age with that amount of time playing basketball. So it's a reason why we have such high expectations. But yeah, the expectations for Sekou is reaching the ceiling. And maybe when you see guys like Giannis and Siakam and just other players develop around the league, put it like this. I think Pistons fans know if we develop Sekou right, he's gonna be a great player. Unless something happened to him, like what happened with what's his name? Dang, I feel bad for not remembering Grant Hill. Like I'm trying to stay positive, but that's the only thing that can keep him from being great. Like
exactly.
If you put Sekou in any great situation, they develop him right. This dude is gonna be a great player. If he's not great, that's on us. Like Stanley Johnson, you might blame us, but I feel like that was a little on him. But if he not like Andre Drummond, I think we failed him. Like if he not great, that's on us, bro. So that's what I'm looking at it. And I think Sekou will have a bigger jump because I think he's gonna jump from 6 points to 12 points. And to me,
surprising for me actually. That'd be interesting.
No, I think he's gonna jump to 12 points.
Would love to see that. I mean, I want Sekou to be like a Siakam kind of player. I would love him that way.
Yeah, I think Luke is gonna jump from like 15 to like 19 type 20, but I think Sekou is gonna jump like 12, 11, and we're gonna see like he's better.
I think Kyrie Thomas might surprise a lot of people that don't actually know him if he gets an opportunity.
I would say he won't surprise me. I'm the biggest Kyrie Thomas.
Oh, I know. He wouldn't surprise me either. Like I was really high on him when we traded for him with Philly. I was like, man, let's look at Avery Bradley with the jump shot.
Yeah, man. So I see Mr. Ray and True Teller debating about Killian Hayes. Mr. Ray, look at him, blatant disrespect. Killian don't have any elite skills. Bro, stop it. Killian, like I'm stopping you right there. Killian is the best pick and roll player in the entire draft. That ain't even up for debate. You want I fully believe that. So that's what he does elite. He passes the ball, and his handles are elite. Killian Hayes has the second best handles in the draft after LaMelo Ball, and it ain't close. You might want to throw Cole up there, but his handles are elite, and his pick and roll play is already elite. And then he's a solid athlete. He can shoot and play defense. Yeah, I know you like Terry or whatever his name is, but we can't disrespect Killian. Like that, bro. That man is been playing in professional basketball since he was 16 years old. Don't disrespect him like that.
Yeah, but the point is, if Killian Hayes has gone off the board, I'm not drafting Halliburton. I'd be really happy with Tyrell Terry. You guys don't know him very well.
I'm drafting Kier,
but I like him really as a player.
Like straight up, give me Cole Anthony.
No, I'll take Tyrell Terry over Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony is injury prone. Kira Lewis is nice too. I take Kira Lewis, you definitely. But Tyrell Terry is someone like gonna be Tyler Hero. Is gonna be like a scorer. You see, he's a really very impressive player. Just watch his game, and you'll be surprised how kind of nice assist he can make. How kind of shot accuracy. He's really a baller. The only thing about him is his defense. But he's a really good player.
Yeah, but over Cole Anthony, chill out.
Yeah, it's the problem. It's the pick we're getting. We cannot just waste a pick on a 7th pick on a Tyrell Terry. We can get him a 10th or a 14th pick. That's what my concern. So I would trade down if that's the case, like you suggested, Pistons Talk.
Yeah, so, I'm looking like his look. Maybe he'll be like Tyler Hero, and we'll see what he is in the league. But it ain't like his stats are like world beating. Like I'm looking like. they ain't world beating. Like he shot 50% from three, but I'm trying to see how many attempts he had. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
Because
believe
he remind he could easily he could either be Duncan Robinson or Hero. You know, so but regardless of that, I'm not over Cole, not over Kiera Lewis.
I think a lot of people are hyping him up because they're watching all these swish culture videos with him, just playing pickup games or, because like he looks really nice. I will give Mr. Ray's credit for that. Like Terrell Terry looks like a really nice pick. I've seen him go up in draft boards. I actually saw him in the top 10 going to the Phoenix Suns, which that would be a really good pick for Phoenix, but
no, he'd be
I'm
a
not
really good pick for us too. Trust me, man. He's a really good player. He'd be surprising for a lot of people.
Yeah, but is he a playmaker though?
Yes, he can. I think he averaged 4 to 5 assists a game at least.
He averaged 3 assists.
Well, yeah, maybe, but he can make the dishes. He plays amazing pick and roll. JMO.
I don't know, man. He averaged 3 assists and had 2.6 turnovers.
Yeah, but JMO, look at Killian Hayes. He may average 4.5 turnover per game to Killian Hayes.
Yeah, but Killian Hayes was having 6, 7, 8 assists a game. It's a different level.
Yeah. Again, I'm not taking him over Killian Hayes.
And that's in the Euro League too.
Oh, by the way, the second best player in this NBA draft after Killian Hayes is probably Terrell Terry, if you ask me.
Okay, man. Last time Bravo hyped up somebody, they was a beast. So
yeah, I mean, I like Kira Lewis too. I'd be happy with Kira Lewis because you can never beat the speed. This guy has the fastest player in the NBA draft this time.
Yeah, but I just don't think you disrespecting Cole Anthony, dog.
No, it's injury, dude. JMO.
Not injury, but see, that's what I'm saying. You can't call somebody injury prone to get injured once. You did the same thing with Ball. He got injured one time. How's that? He's been injured once.
He's got meniscus. Do you know what
that means?
And then
he came back, though.
He got an operation in his knee. Once you get something in your knee, an operation, there's a risk factor for developing future injuries.
It's always a risk factor, but you can't say he's injury prone until he's actually injured.
He's not injury prone. I'll take it back, but he's got his knee. That's his main problem with Cole Anthony. But the point is, I would agree with the people. You wouldn't draft Tyrell Terry at 7. No, you draft him at 14 or at 10. So you trade down, and then you get Terry in that case. I like him, man. I really like his gameplay, and he'd be surprising for a lot of players this year. He'd be like the new Tyler Hero. You'll see this.
Oh man, Mr. Ray said, "Give me Terry over Hayes and Kiera."
No.
You tripping, dog. Tripping.
He's not the best shooter in the draft. That's Aaron Naismith for me.
Okay, see, and I like Devin Vassell as a shooter. So
they're both different. Those are small forward. This guy is a point guard. Terrell Terry is a point guard. He can shoot off the dribble, of the pick and roll.
No, I'm not arguing that. I just think Naismith's a better shooter. I think he's the best shooter.
Oh yeah, of course, he's the best shooter in the draft.
I'm not even just talking about position. To me, if you shoot 50% from 3 in college, you're doing something right.
JMO watches his
I was about to say Terry did the same thing though. I think.
Yeah. So
no,
just
he shot 40%.
I doubt the Pistons would draft him. Anyways,
I mean I think they've been looking at it. Is Sekou a must start 100,000%? He's a must start. If you don't start him, you should be fired. I'm gonna call for Dwayne Casey head. Like you don't start Sweet Dan Mikhailuk over Sekou. You're not. Don't get me started. Don't get me started with that. But look, y'all. It's a lot of questions in here. We gonna wrap up the show. We 2 hours in. I just looked at the time. Yeah, so we got to get out of here, man. Yeah. We do have lives besides this, but I'm gonna look at some more questions and then we gonna do final thoughts, man. Let me see.
What do you guys think about
the disrespect for Killian Hayes, man? Y'all gonna learn, dog. That boy nasty. Like he got everything I want in the point guard, and his only weakness is having a better right hand. Like y'all think people really think that's hard to learn. Offense is the easiest thing to learn in the NBA. Like all that other stuff, like that vision, that pick and roll ability, those handles, those are things that take years of work.
What do you guys think about Obi Toppin? I hate to say this, but I'm not a great. What do you guys think? I'm not really great on him, but
let me see.
You tell me, JMO.
No, I think. Look, hey, true teller, I tell you, man. Any player that Bravo hypes up end up being great. Like he don't miss. Like he hyped up Sekou, and I was telling him if you don't get these foreign ass players on somewhere, what now, Drew?
Yeah.
Like I was like, get the fuck out of here with fucking Sekou, damn ass the boy. Like I was shitting on him. Well, I wasn't shitting on him, but I was not for getting a foreign player. So I don't doubt that he'll be good. But I think Killian Hayes is special.
let me tell you
And
something.
if he had like these overseas players just don't get the same amount of hype. We seen Danny Abdia hype, but if Killian Hayes played in America, people would think a lot differently of him. So
Yeah, let me tell you something. Tyrell Terry is a way better shooter than Killian Hayes, for sure. But you cannot compare the two. Killian is a better
Killian Hayes is a
playmaker.
good shooter.
He's a better body. He's a better playmaker. He's a bigger player. He's a smart IQ. So even he's a better defender than Tyrell Terry. So that's why I'm leaning more towards Hayes at 7, for sure.
I think they play completely.
To say Hayes don't have no elite skills is just wrong. Hayes is an elite passer and he has elite handles. Like, stop it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. He's good handler too. So we have only 25 days ahead of the NBA draft. So what do you guys think of? I threw this in the comments before. What do you guys think about? I'm not really interested, but what do you guys think about Obi Toppin if he falls down to the Pistons?
I think he's going to end up in Cleveland because there's been a lot of rumbling of Drummond opting out of his contract with Cleveland. Because
that's not the topic. The topic is, how do you think he's going to fit with us if we draft him?
Oh, I mean, he would be Christian Wood's replacement. Like, straight up. Like, they're the same player. Obi Toppin's worse defensively, but, I mean, they literally play the same. You know, it's like a power forward that can shoot threes. He's going to give you, like, Sports Center type of clips, like, every night. Like, yeah, I mean, that'd be a great fit, but I don't know. We kind of have a lot of power forwards right now. You got, like, Blake, Thon, then you would have Obi. I don't know.
J-Mo? What do you think, J-Mo?
Bro, like, come on, man. This dude is being so disrespectful. He said you can't have an elite handle when you only have one hand. How dumb do you sound, bro? Killy can dribble with both hands, idiot. He has a problem finishing with the right hand because he's left hand dominant, just like James Harden. How many times does he finish with his right hand? Like, to say, bro, like, that's how I know you're not watching film. To say Killian don't have elite handles, what the hell are you talking about, bro? This man got people tripping over him. He got every move. He got the hezzy. He got the step back. He got the up and under. Like, his handles are that's like trying to tell me LaMelo don't got good handles. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, for real. Like, look at the film. How is his handles not elite? I need to know. What are you talking about? You saying I'm going to see, I guarantee you Killian rookie year handles going to be better than Terry. That's not something that's like me saying Terry's not Killian a better shooter than Terry. That's just dumb. That's not true. Let's be real here, man. Like, you got to separate your biases and judge the players and analyze them. When we talk about basketball skills, Killian Hayes, elite ball handler, elite in the pick and roll. That boy over there, he can shoot. He definitely has a right hand. That's just a myth. So I'm not going to take that disrespect, bro. You're not watching film talking about Killian. Saying Killian can't dribble. Like, really? What we talking about, bro? Like, I don't know what the hell you talking about. Like, Killian, like, that shit is so disrespectful. Killian is an amazing dribbler, bro. Like, for real. If Melo wasn't in the draft, he would have the best dribblers. You being mad disrespectful. Killian got a nasty step back, got hezzy moves. He got grown-ass men falling over themselves, bro. Like, stop the disrespect. Come on, man.
I think he's just dead set on Tyrell Terry. You're not going to change his mind.
Like,
I mean,
you can be dead set on Tyrell Terry and love him to death. Like, you can love him. That can be your guy, but let's not put lies out here. Killian has 2 elite skills. Like, let's not put lies out here. You can love Tyrell Terry. You can think he's going to be better, but Killian has elite skills already.
You know, I was the same way with Donovan Mitchell. I thought he was going to be, like, during the draft, I was hyping up Donovan Mitchell like crazy. And my friends thought I was freaking crazy. I was like, that's going to be like a Dwayne Wade type of player. I happen to be right, but I'm not always right. I thought Henry Ellenson was going to be good. I was wrong. I was completely wrong because I was shocked that when he fell because he was like top 10 like all year. But I mean, sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. We're not really going to get here.
Like, what are you talking about?
No, so Mr. Ray, you don't draft Terry at 7 unless.
This is how I know you're not watching film. His pick and roll is overstated. You're not watching film. Let's see. In the Euro League, first game, Killian Hayes. Like, it was so great. He just dribbled down the court, pick and roll, score. Does it again. Dribble down the court, pick and roll, score. Does it again. What are you talking? I don't know how you can overstate talent. Like, come on,
man. It's a pick and roll league. I want a point guard that's already like.
What are you talking about?
Killian Hayes is the best pick and roll player, but Terry might be a better scorer and I can see a shooter, but he's not a 7, dude. You draft Tyrell Terry maybe at 12, 13, 14, maybe even a 20th range, not a 7. He's not a top 10 talent, in my opinion. I think there's other players you can draft ahead of him. Although I'm a huge fan of this guy because I think he's really one of the interesting guys who's going to show up in the draft.
Hey man, he said we're gonna see. Let me tell you something, Drew, and Drew will tell you. One thing I hang my hat on is wide receivers and point guards. I'm never wrong. Check my track record. I ain't never been wrong about a damn point guard. So we gonna see who right. We Drew will back you up. Every point guard that I hyped up turned out to be something. So we gonna see what happens, man. But all right, we gotta wrap it up. It's 2 hours and 9 minutes. But like looks like I gotta change the show to no Killian Hayes slander will be tolerated. Cause y'all out here getting out of. I had to go on a whole rant. This man tried to tell me Killian couldn't dribble. We ain't doing that here, bro. Come on, dog. Final thoughts, Spencer Talk, man. It's a great show. It's good to be back, y'all.
Man, good to be back. I actually missed not going on last week. If you guys have not liked the video, like the video. Also, I want to do a shameless plug. At PD Sports, you're watching. I'm getting your shout out there. I want you guys to go subscribe to his channel. He does hockey shows called The Offside Show. If you guys are interested in Detroit Red Wings, they're going to be doing some really good stuff next week, and you guys want to go check that out. But enjoyed talking basketball with you guys tonight.
Yes, most definitely, man. PD is out there putting in work. And like I said, for my Pistons fans, he has a lot of Pistons breakdown videos talking about the greatness of Ben Wallace and stuff like that. So you're gonna learn a lot going over to his channel, man. Bravo, man. Here he is right here. Make sure you guys go subscribe. You're gonna learn a lot about our teams that you never even knew, man. So, all right, Bravo. What's your final thoughts, man?
Good show, good talk. We got a lot of things today, and it feels good to come back. We've been away for a couple of weeks, last week and the week. So it's been like good time talking to you guys and looking over for the next shows. And I'll just make it short. Hand it back to you, JMO.
Yeah. All right, Drew. What's your final thoughts, man?
Good show, man. It feels great to be back. It's great that Stan Van Gundy's back in the league.
Like, you need to chill out, dog. Like,
nah, man. It's awesome to be back, man. We're in the first stages of the offseason, so there'll be a lot of trade rumors, a lot of mock drafts for us to break down. So we got a lot more prospects to talk about. It's going to be a great few months here without basketball.
Whatever you could put together.
Formal
hey, man. Look, we gonna have some more fun shows because one thing I like about the NBA, and it's not like the NFL isn't accessible, but it seems like the NBA community, we way more tapped in. Like I swear, it could be a deal that happens in some back corner alley in the country somewhere, and everybody know about it in 2 seconds. like what would you be over there in the helicopter? Like, oh, they doing this. My point is, we always gonna have stuff to talk about on this show, whether it's Pistons related or NBA related, because they always stay with the smoke, and I love it. Shout out to everybody that came by today. Shout out to all of the people, whether you love basketball or hate it, or you're just trying to learn. We just here to talk some basketball, give you some good analysis. And I just want people to be around people who actually know what they're talking about, because it's a lot of people out here that don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they say crazy things. You know, we all had our crazy moments, though. Ain't that right, Bravo? I ain't gonna do you like that today. Magic Johnson, Steph Curry. But you know, I've had my crazy moments, man. Like I've had my crazy moments saying crazy stuff too. But at the end of the day, we're Pistons fans, and we do talk about basketball because we know the sport, man. This is DSA Above the Rim. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video. And like Mr. Ray, if you want to come over here and debate, anybody wants to come over here and debate, have some fun, talk some basketball, just hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on YouTube, man. But mainly hit me up on Twitter because like I have to like send links out, and it's better if I can just send it to your Twitter. Just hit me up, man. Like we can go on the show and we can have a full discussion about it. So I'm all down to just talk basketball with the people, man. But all right, man. Shout out to all y'all. We out of here.